pitch bringing us closer to the playoffs. The free Odyssey app lets you listen to live play-by-play of your local team. So no matter what you're up to, you'll never have to miss another game. Download the free Odyssey app today and keep baseball close by all summer long. That's AUDACY. Odyssey.
A career at Maine Health means advancing your skills, expanding your professional opportunities, and changing lives with people who will change yours. To learn how to start your career here, go to mainehealth.org/join the team.
Let's face it, that persistent, debilitating pain in your knees, hips, or back is holding you back from hitting the dance floor and enjoying life to the fullest. But you don't need to live like that anymore. You can reclaim your mobility and get moving again to enjoy life to the fullest. Reach out to QC Kinetics without delay. They're transforming lives in the Boston area with long-lasting pain relief through cutting-edge regenerative medicine. It's simple science. By concentrating your body's own healing agents and applying them to your aching joints, damaged tissues can be restored. No drugs, no steroids, and certainly no surgery. It's time to discover the power of regenerative medicine. QC Kinetics holds the key to a life-changing transformation. Make this the summer where chronic pain becomes a distant memory. Experience the excitement of a new natural approach to tackling joint pain without any downtime. Call now at 617-644-PAIN. That's 617-644-PAIN. Or visit QCkinetics.com. There's no need to continue living with joint pain when there's a better solution available.
Between the kids being home and hosting, everything in our house gets used up in summer. With Instacart, I can save money by stocking up on all my favorite summer brands. I save time by getting everything delivered in as fast as an hour. And I save myself a sink full of dirty dishes by stocking up on paper plates for the annual summer cookout. Save more on summer essentials? Spend more time enjoying summer. Add summer to cart. Download the app to get free delivery on your first 3 orders. Offer valid for a limited time. Minimum $10 per order. Additional terms apply.
You can host the best backyard barbecue when you find a professional on Angie to make your backyard the best around. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie that.
Where easy listening goes all electric with your favorite hits like impressive style
Easy peasy.
and intuitive touchscreen
Easy peasy. Easy peasy. Yeah.
and smooth acceleration.
Easy peasy.
The all-electric BZ4X. Electric made easy beasy. Toyota, let's go places.
Odyssey's I'm Listening is our commitment to more mental health conversations. Here's Corey Taylor of Slipknot on getting the help you need.
When people feel like they can't get any help, that's when they isolate and that's when they hurt themselves. Find what works. If it's medication, it's medication. If it's therapy, it's therapy. If it's both, it's both. But don't be afraid to try both. You know, there's nothing wrong with admitting that you need help.
Talk saves lives. For more mental health conversations, visit imlistening.org.
Boston business owners, diversify your income and earn extra money for your business by partnering with Amazon Hub Delivery. Here's a great chance to have your local business interact even more with your neighborhood. When you partner with Amazon Hub Delivery, you and your staff will deliver packages to customers in your neighborhood on a schedule that works for you. It's easy to begin with no upfront cost, delivery experience, or long-term contracts. Sign your business up today at amazon.com/hub delivery. That's amazon.com/hub delivery.
Gresh and Fourier, weekdays 10 to 2.
Now back to the Shaws and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
And this is the Mass Mutual Red Sox pregame show. Talk to Mass Mutual today. Feel comfortable about tomorrow. The Boston Red Sox take on the Washington Nationals tonight. Game 2 of a 3-game set. The Red Sox 3 games back of the Toronto Blue Jays for that third wildcard spot in the American League with 43 games left to play. This is game number 2 of 16 straight for the Red Sox. Before every game, we hear Red Sox manager Alex Cora, and Alex Cora on WEEI is brought to you by your New England Ford dealers and their Discover Summer Sales event with a large inventory in stock. Now is the best time to trade in, trade up, and discover your best summer ever with Ford. Now, we normally chat with Alex Cora, but Will Fleming, after Alex Cora chatted with Gresham Fourier today, Will Fleming chatted with assistant hitting coach Luis Ortiz, and here is this conversation.
Game 2 in the nation's capital. And with a big part of the Red Sox hitting department, Luis Ortiz joins us. And Luis, last night was one of those nights that I think probably makes you and everybody you work with really happy. And I thought the sequence where Raffy walks, Story walks, Tristan gets himself into a full count, is that not everything you guys have been talking about all year long?
It was amazing. One thing is to talk about it, and the other part of the equation is to execute it. And the fact that they did it, and it was just fun to watch. I mean, that's what baseball looks like. When you do a good offensive game, it's just fun to watch.
Verdugo sets the tone right out of the gates, and it felt like everybody kind of fed off of him after that one swing. He's such a different hitter where I get the sense he's not that mechanical. How do you guys work with him when he's in a little funk to get him out of it?
You're absolutely right. I mean, he has one of the sweetest swings in baseball, and him and Massa are very similar, that even when they're struggling, they look good. Yeah. So it's kind of hard. Usually some timing issue, or, especially the early, the push or whatever. But, yeah, I mean, it was fun to have him in the top of the order, imitating Ricky Henderson a little bit and starting us ahead in the game right away. So Doogie can be a game changer. I mean, when he's on, I mean, he's line drives everywhere, good outfield defense. So it was fun to watch that last night for sure.
Trevor comes back, and I don't know what your expectations were, but we were all willing to give him a few weeks to sort of look like himself. It seems to me that he's ahead of schedule where his timing should be.
You know what? You saw the first 2 games and you go, well, maybe we need to give him a little more time. But he's a professional. He knows what he needs. And our language has been timing. I mean, there's a marriage between timing and mechanics. So if the timing's off, don't even talk to me about mechanics, because the mechanics are going to be off as well. So he ain't been on time. He's swinging his swing. I mean, he's been playing professional baseball for a long, long time. So that swing is not going to change. So the only way that the pitcher is going to get us consistently is that we off timing. And it was no surprise. I mean, he hasn't played in a long, long time at this level. So you can see some of the pressure and the desire to help right away and trying to do a little bit too much. And we knew as soon as that first hit dropped, it was going to be game changer for him, because just a sigh of relief, and just now I can just be myself.
He's got such a different swing. Sometimes the leg kick is higher than other times. Where do you come down on what works best to give him the best chance to be the pure athlete that he is?
Well, he calls it a hover. He hovers. And the challenge for him is, the analogy that I use is almost like an airplane in a small runway. If you're about to land, and then all of a sudden you think that you don't have enough room, and then you take off again, and that's what sometimes happens to him. It's almost like when he throws. When you throw, it seems like you're going to land, and then you reach for a little bit more. So when he reaches for a little bit more, when he lands, his posture is a little off. I mean, he's a little more tilted. The back shoulder is a little lower. So it gets a little bit harder to catch up to higher velocity and pitches on top of the zone. So now he's just landing when he's supposed to. And when he lands when he's supposed to, he's athletic, he's strong, and that swing is just so smooth.
Reagan Airport here in D.C., notorious for short runways. So, I feel lucky to have talked to you about all of your hitters over these last couple of years, and you're always able to do what you just did, which is come up with a language that simplifies it. Not just to me, but I'm sure you do that in the same way with your hitters. Where did that come from? Where do you get all this stuff that simplifies it and puts it in normal language?
I probably think it was homeschooling my girls, probably. I mean, I think you realize that some of them are auditory. They just listen to something and they're able to understand it. Some of them are more visual, so you got to show it to them. You got to show them that video. but most of them are kinesthetic, especially athletes. So you have to put something, some kind of implement in their bodies to be able to, for them to feel it, because they're so fast, so you kind of slowing down. So I think that's probably one of the things that I learned from homeschooling, having 4 different brains and trying to get them to understand those concepts. So it probably started with that, and then just trial and error. You try to understand how this particular player understands concepts, and then you try to use it as often as you can. And usually analogies are the best. I mean, when you can push something that they already know and they're able to, oh yeah, that makes sense. And it's like a light bulb comes up and they just run with it after that.
You're welcome to parent my kids anytime. Speaking of parenting, you know, I love the saying that you are only as happy as your least happy kid. And I think that has to be true about your job, where you are only as happy as a hitting coach as the guy who's struggling the most. Has that been in your career true?
It's so true. It's so true. And I use that quote a lot, often, because you can have 8 guys just raking, but you're worried about that one guy that's struggling, and it's never complete happiness. It's never a complete happiness. It's always going to be something going on. So, and that's the fun part of coaching. It's just that problem-solving part of this level, that everything happens every single day, and then you just can't rest. You just can't cruise. You just have to, keep your eyes open. And the one thing that I actually tell our players, just let's try to be good initiators, because by the time we notice, that probably is stage 2 or 3, but they're able to be open and just humble, and to say, hey, I don't feel good right now. What do you see? It's a lot easier to fix when you get it right at the beginning of the process, and after a couple of weeks have gone by where they don't feel good.
Tristan capped off that sequence of the heart of your order. You told me something I thought was really interesting about convincing him to wait longer, because we saw him in the first couple months of the season kind of bring the bat with him on a lot of these check swings. What made you realize that could help him? And talk to us about his process of now waiting longer and doing all this damage.
Well, because he had the talent to do it. I think the better the hitter, the longer they take to make a decision, but when they take the decision, they don't second guess themselves. I think when you prematurely make a decision, you're going to be in between a lot. You're going to be chasing balls that you shouldn't, because especially at this level, there's a lot of the pitches are more strike to ball to strike. So something that looks like one thing ends up like something else. So if you commit a little early, then you're going to have a hard time squaring balls the way you're supposed to. So the longer the ball is in the air, the better information your brain is going to receive, and the timing is going to be proportionally better. The more you move forward to try to accelerate the action, that's when we get ourselves in tough situations.
Last thing for you, Louis. We really appreciate you taking the time. I sort of feel like it's taken me the whole year to appreciate the greatness of Justin Turner, where situationally, day after day, no matter what the at-bat calls for, this guy delivers, I would imagine, exactly what you are looking for. What's it been like for you to be around him every day?
He has made our job so much easier, because he exemplifies everything that we talk about. And he's like a walk-in encyclopedia of hitting. And he's so willing to help the younger guys. I mean, you have a question, he's an open book, and he's not pushing you to do it his way. He's, hey, try this. Have you ever thought about this? And he's just so unassuming that you just can you just trust him, and he backs it up with action. He backs it up with his preparation. He backs it up with execution, and he's one of the best teammates you've ever been around. So it's just been so much fun to have that guy here, because selfishly he has made our job so much easier.
Not that you need any help. I appreciate all the time. Here's to more hits, more runs, and more analogies. Thanks so much, Louis.
Thank you so much.
What an awesome conversation there between Will Fleming and assistant hitting coach Luis Ortiz. as the Red Sox take on the Nationals tonight. Second game of a 3-game set. And here is today's Red Sox batting order, brought to you by Herb Chambers, New England's largest selections of cars, trucks, and SUVs. At Herb Chambers, we don't sell cars. We help people buy them. HerbChambers.com. And here is the lineup the Red Sox are rolling out. Rob Refsnyder leading things off with the left-hander Mackenzie Gore on the mound. Refsnyder playing in left. Justin Turner, who you just heard Luis Ortiz talk about, he's batting second. He's a designated hitter as well. Rafi Devers in the 3 spot. He's playing third base. Trevor Story cleaning things up. He's playing shortstop. Adam Duvall batting 5th, playing center field. So 4 out of the first 5 hitters in the lineup, right-handed hitters. Alex Verdugo batting 6th, playing right field. 7, 8, 9 looking like this. Pablo Reyes at second, Tristan Casas at first, and it's Connor Wong doing the catching for the Red Sox. So no Jarren Duran, no Masataka Yoshida, with the left-hander Mackenzie Gore on the hill for the Nats. You can watch the Red Sox pregame show on Twitch. To watch, go to twitch.tv/Boston WEEI, brought to you by Subaru of New England. Don't miss out on a Subaru summer. Make the most of the summer in a brand new 2023 Subaru. Details at SubaruofNewEngland.com. We'll have the FanDuel Bet du jour coming up in our next segment. We'll also get you the Catches Law Group injury report and let you know how Tanner Houck did in Worcester. We'll also bring you the BMW keys to the game and also give you a look at out-of-town scores with the Subaru of New England scoreboard. I'm Joe Wild. This is the Mass Mutual Red Sox pregame show. Talk to Mass Mutual today. Feel comfortable about tomorrow.
As all parents know, the back-to-school season can be hard. But thanks to Instacart, shopping for lunches your kids won't want to trade just got a whole lot easier. Right now, Instacart is offering $50 off an Instacart Plus membership, which gets you unlimited free delivery all school year long. First day of soccer practice snacks? Free delivery. Last-minute bake sale? Free delivery. So go to instacart.com/plus to get your membership while supplies last. Plan renews at $99 a year. Terms apply.
When you drive the most dependable mass market brand, you can stop thinking about what you can't do and start doing what you never thought possible. Visit your local Kia dealer today to see yourself behind the wheel of the #1 most dependable mass market brand 3 years in a row by J.D. Power. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-333-4KIA for details. Always drive safely. Kia received the fewest reported problems among mass market brands in the J.D. Power 2021 to 2023 U.S. Vehicle Dependability Studies. 2023 study based on 2020 models. See jdpower.com/awards for 2023 details.
Angie's List is now Angie, and we've heard a lot of theories about why.
I thought it was an eco move. Fewer words, less paper.
No, it was so you could say it faster.
No, it's to be more iconic.
Must be a tech thing.
But those aren't quite right. It's because now you can compare upfront prices, book a service instantly, and even get your project handled from start to finish.
Sounds easy.
It is, and it makes us so much more than just a list. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI, or download the app today.
Moving day means that you and the things that matter to you are in for a big transition. There's a lot to figure out. New closets, different counter space, change of floor plan. No worries. CubeSmart is here, so you have a place for everything. It's our job to make self-storage as easy as possible. Online or in person, this is a self-storage experience that puts the focus on you because you matter to us. With self-storage that fits seamlessly into your life, you'll have plenty of peace of mind to unpack along the way. Click now to find a self-storage solution near you.
Where easy listening goes all electric. The all-electric BZ4X. Toyota. Let's go places.
This is Matt Spiegel of 670 The Score in Chicago, and my podcast, The PBP, Voices of Baseball, is all about the art and craft of play-by-play. Catch up on episodes with Joe Davis, Joe Buck, and many more. Then something crazy happened along the way. I did a weekend of Cubs-Cardinals on the radio, so now conversations are enriched with feedback and advice from Jason Benetti, Boog Shambi, and others to come. The PBP, Voices of Baseball. I bring you the people who bring you the game. Listen on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
The blockbuster event of the summer is here.
Outrunning a helicopter isn't exactly what I had in mind for my beach getaway.
But this isn't another full-throttle action movie. It's the Nissan Thrill of the Drive sales event.
Wait, what?
Featuring the action-packed 2023 Nissan Rogue and Nissan Sentra, with sport modes that give the performance of a lifetime.
Stealing my spotlight.
And now comes the real star of the show.
Now get a low $309 per month lease for 36 months on Rogue. Availability is limited, so shop your local Nissan store and nissanusa.com today.
Better hurry. These offers won't get a sequel.
For well-qualified customers, 2023 Rogue S all-wheel drive, $44.49 initial payment excludes tax, title, license, and $695 acquisition fee. Includes $300 manufacturer's rebate applied to $309 per month lease. Disposition fee due at lease end. Take from new dealer stock. Call 1-888-858-8319 for offer details. Ends 9/5/23.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who pay attention to every little detail. The ones who fuss, tinker, and sweat the small stuff. Because you know the tiniest thing can make the biggest difference when it comes to keeping business moving. We get it. We're the same way, offering access to product experts to help you quickly and easily find what you need. So whatever your industry, you know you're always getting professional-grade products. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Jones and Mego, weekdays 2 to 6.
Now back to the Shaws and Star Market, WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
And this is the Mass Mutual Red Sox pregame show. Talk to Mass Mutual today. Feel comfortable about tomorrow. Joe Weil with you here in the WEEI studios. Red Sox versus Nationals coming up in about 15 minutes from Nationals Park. It's time now, though, for the FanDuel Bet du jour, brought to you by FanDuel, official partner of Major League Baseball. Yesterday, I went with Rafi Devers hitting a home run. That did not happen. He went 0 for 2 with 2 walks, but I'm going to go with another position player today. It's Trevor Story, 2+ total bases. It's at plus 105 odds on FanDuel. And the reason I'm going to do this is because Trevor Story historically has hit left-handed pitchers well. So the Nationals have Mackenzie Gore out there on the hill, and Story already this season against left-handed pitching, 5 for 9 with 2 doubles. Right-handed pitching, he's just 2 for 13. But in his career, he's hitting 990 with an OPS of 990 against left-handed pitchers. Meanwhile, against right-handed pitchers, a 795 mark. So with the left-hander on the mound, I think Trevor Story can at least get 2 total bases tonight in this game. So again, Trevor Story, 2+ total bases at plus 105 odds on FanDuel. I hit on Sunday, but again, did not hit yesterday. So trying to get back on the winning track here tonight as the Red Sox look to take their 7th game of their last 9. It's time now for the Subaru of New England scoreboard update. Don't miss out on a Subaru summer. Make the most of the summer in a brand new 2023 Subaru. Details at SubaruofNewEngland.com. And here's what is on the slate in the American League East. It's Toronto at home against Philadelphia. So the Blue Jays won yesterday 2-1. They're still up 3 games on the Red Sox for that 3rd wild card spot in the American League. That game gets rolling at 7:07. It's Aaron Nola on the mound for the Phillies, Kevin Gausman going for the Blue Jays. Meanwhile, the Yankees take on the Braves yet again in Atlanta. That's a 7:20 start time. The Yankees have lost 4 consecutive games. They're now 60-60 on the season. This is the deepest point into a season the Yankees have been 500 or worse since 1995. So they're 60-60. If they lose again to the Braves, and they lost 5-0 yesterday, they will be below 500. Meanwhile, Baltimore gets going against the San Diego Padres at 8:40. It's Dean Kramer versus Blake Snell. The O's lost yesterday 10-3. They're still up 2.5 games on the Rays in the American League East, and it was 3 games at the start of the day, now at 2.5, because the Rays beat the San Francisco Giants in San Francisco by a score of 6-1. Aaron Savali, the Northeastern product, 6 shutout innings. He allowed 5 hits while striking out 5. So the Rays with the win, despite all that's going on with that organization, the injuries to the starting pitching, but also the investigation into Wander Franco by Major League Baseball. Franco, of course, on the restricted list. A couple of other finals across Major League Baseball. Detroit, an 8-7 winner over Minnesota. The Tigers hit 4 home runs. Spencer Torkelson hit 2. And then the Mets beat the Pittsburgh Pirates 8-3. Arizona, 9-7 winner over Colorado. And then the Seattle Mariners get going at 8-10 against the Kansas City Royals. Mentioned them because the M's are just a game up on the Red Sox, sandwiched in between the Blue Jays and the Red Sox in the American League wildcard standings. So the M's 2 games back of the Blue Jays, and the Red Sox are 3. It's time now for the BMW keys to the game, brought to you by BMW, the ultimate driving machine. And my key to the game is make it deja vu for the Nationals. And what I mean by that is wear down the opposing starting pitcher. What we saw yesterday from the Red Sox offense, they made Josiah Gray toss 83 pitches in 3+ innings, and he got tagged for 4 runs. And so once again, the Nats have a young starter in Mackenzie Gore, who's also, he's 24 years old. And on top of that, he has reached an innings total that he hasn't hit in any point in his career. So that includes the minor leagues. This is only his second year at the big league level. He's only topped 100 innings once in his professional career. That was in 2019, and he's showing some signs of fatigue. I mentioned this a little bit earlier, but he had an ERA of 3.57 through the end of May. 12 starts since then. He's posting a 5.67 ERA, and you consider he's already thrown 40 more innings than he did last year between Major League Baseball and AAA in 2022. The Red Sox might be catching him at the right time. So the Red Sox, they're key offensively. Wear him down. Get him to the point where he's fatigued early, and that has been the case for Gore anyway, but the Red Sox have to do that work against the very talented left-hander that they got in the Juan Soto deal. Then on top of that, make the Nats earn it offensively. They have the 6th best batting average in Major League Baseball and then the 2nd best strikeout rate, but they have the 4th worst walk percentage in the sport. They're bottom 3rd in on-base percentage and slugging as well. They've also hit the 2nd fewest home runs. So James Paxton, put the ball in the zone, limit the walks, make them earn the runs tonight here at Nationals Park. So those are the BMW keys to the game. Hurry into the BMW Summer on Sales event and receive a credit of up to $2,000 on select models now through September 4th. For more details, go to bmwcenters.com. And here is the injury report presented by Ketchus Law Group, New England's personal injury pros since 1986. Ketchus has won over $1 billion for their injured clients, and you never have to pay unless Ketchus wins. Injured? Schedule a free legal evaluation by calling 508-321-7000 or at KetchusLaw.com. Tanner Houck got the rehab start today with the Woo Sox. He was awesome against Scranton Wilkes-Barre, the Yankees AAA affiliate. 4 innings, 1 hit, no runs, no walks, 4 strikeouts, and 59 pitches, 36 for strikes. He allowed a seeing eye single in the top of the first, then retired 10 consecutive batters to finish his outing. He had 11 swing and misses, 6 of which on his slider, as he continues to work his way back from that facial fracture, but he's set to join the Red Sox on Monday for a start against the Houston Astros. So 4 shutout innings from Tanner Houck today for the Woo Sox. Awesome stuff for Tanner Houck. Look forward to seeing him in the rotation again. Before we go any further, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification along the Shaw's and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
From the WEEI studios, 93.7 WEEI FM and HD1, Lawrence, Boston. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
And you've been listening to the Mass Mutual Red Sox pregame show. Talk to Mass Mutual today. Feel comfortable about tomorrow. Want to thank Bridget Prue behind the glass doing fantastic work, as she always does. I'm Joe Weil. Hang tight. Red Sox versus Nationals coming up next on the Shaw's and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
You've been listening to the Mass Mutual Red Sox pregame show. Proudly brought to you by Mass Mutual. Mass Mutual. Insurance, planning, investments. The Red Sox are coming up next on the Shaw's and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
When you drive the most dependable mass market brand, you can stop thinking about what you can't do and start doing what you never thought possible. Visit your local Kia dealer today to see yourself behind the wheel of the #1 most dependable mass market brand 3 years in a row by J.D. Power. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-334-KIA for details. Always drive safely. Kia received the fewest reported problems among mass market brands in the J.D. Power 2021 to 2023 U.S. Vehicle Dependability Studies. 2023 study based on 2020 models. See jdpower.com/awards for 2023 details.
Moving day means that you and the things that matter to you are in for a big transition. There's a lot to figure out. New closets, different counter space, change of floor plan. No worries. CubeSmart is here, so you have a place for everything. It's our job to make self-storage as easy as possible. Online or in person, this is a self-storage experience that puts the focus on you because you matter to us. With self-storage that fits seamlessly into your life, you'll have plenty of peace of mind to unpack along the way. Click now to find a self-storage solution near you.
Where easy listening goes all electric. The all-electric BZ4X. Toyota. Let's go places.
The PBP, Voices of Baseball, is a podcast about the art and craft of play-by-play, and we're in the middle of an amazing season. Catch up on episodes with Joe Buck, Joe Davis, Pat Hughes, and more, and learn along with me, Matt Spiegel, how the job is done.
It's not just home run Bryce Harper and the Phillies lead. To really do it justice, you got to widen the lens. What does this home run mean?
The PBP, Voices of Baseball. I bring you the people who bring you the game. Listen on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
We are the Community College of Rhode Island. You know us as CCRI, and we're more than you think. We have 4 campuses across the state with guided financial aid and scholarship opportunities and the lowest tuition in Rhode Island. We offer daytime, evening, on-campus, and online classes to help you earn your degree on your time, with more than 90 programs to help you discover your career path or advance on the one you already have. And over 70 transfer agreements. CCRI is the smart choice. We know who we are. Now it's your turn. The Community College of Rhode Island. Find your future here.
KFC's new chicken nuggets. Hand-breaded, original recipe, 100% white meat chicken nuggets. The perfect back-to-school dinner option for...
Are those chicken nuggets?
Yeah, I was thinking we could...
Chicken nuggets! Chicken nuggets! Chicken nuggets! Chicken nuggets!
What is happening?
It's dinner time. Order KFC original recipe chicken nuggets, 10 pieces for just $5. You've never had nuggets like these. That's finger-licking good. Prices and participation may vary. Taxes, tips, and fees extra.
Missing your NFL team's out-of-market games? Not a great plan. A much better plan? Switch to My Plan from Verizon and get NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV on us with eligible phone purchase and unlimited plus. That's a value of up to $449. Get every out-of-market game every Sunday afternoon. Switch to My Plan at your Verizon store today. And for a limited time, get NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV on us with eligible phone purchase and unlimited plus. It's your Verizon. $449 value applies to NFL Sunday Ticket season 23-24 only. Additional terms and embargoes apply to NFL Sunday Ticket on YouTube. No refunds.
Hey, it's Gresh, and last week I felt that old familiar rush of football being back. The anticipation, the excitement before kickoff, there is nothing like it. Now, take that feeling and picture applying it to a life-changing transformation. That's the sensation with Awaken 180. Just as our players storm the field with a championship in mind, those diving into Awaken 180 are all in, gearing up for their success. Now, football is unpredictable. Every snap could change the game, but with Awaken 180, it's a whole different ball game. No Hail Marys, no onside kicks, just a straight-up fail-proof game plan. And just like an elite coach breaking down a play, the team at Awaken 180 is there every step, ensuring you cross the goal line every time. Ready to shed those pounds and channel your inner MVP? With Awaken 180, victory isn't a long shot. It's your next play. Dial up 844-346-1800, 844-346-1800, or online at awaken180weightloss.com.
This is...
And the Boston Red Sox are the world champions.
Red Sox baseball.
And it is good! And Boston strong!
On the Shaws and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
For the first time in 86 years.
The Red Sox on WEEI are brought to you by Shaws and Star Market, perfecting the art of fresh. Catches Law Group, New England's injury law pros at catcheslaw.com.
And it's gone!
Subaru of New England. Find your authorized Subaru retailer at SubaruofNewEngland.com. Mass Mutual. Insurance, planning, investments. Sponsored by Nissan. Save on the action-packed Nissan lineup today at the Nissan Thrill of the Drive sales event. Drains by James. Eastern Mass's choice for drain cleaning and pipeline.
And that ball is gone into the front row of the monster seats.
Big Y World-Class Market. It's more than food. It's my Big Y. Buy cars for kids. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
Looking up, Grand Slam!
By Mike's Amazing, the official mayonnaise of the Boston Red Sox. Ford Trucks, official truck of the Boston Red Sox.
We're going to drive to left field. There are a couple runs way gone.
Arbella, here for good. And by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Long gone into the monster seats.
Sponsored by Town Fair Tire. For the best prices on tires, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Dig Safe. Click digsafe.com or call 811 before you dig. Cape Cod Lumber. Find the lumber for your next project. cclco.com.
Holy cow!
Sponsored by Sherwin-Williams. Savings and support start day one. Unlock the Pro Advantage at swproplus.com today. Sponsored by Herb Chambers. At Herb Chambers, we don't sell cars, we help people buy them. Now, with all the play-by-play action, here's Will Fleming and Rob Bradford.
From the nation's capital, Nationals Park, the home of the Washington Nats, Washington, D.C., the Boston Red Sox play Game 2 of their 10-game road trip, and they look to carry on the momentum after a thrilling 5-4 win last night. The Red Sox this evening will hand the baseball to about their steadiest pitcher all season long, James Paxton, and he will be countered by a very exciting young left-hander who has hit a little bit of a wall for these Nats in Mackenzie Gore. Welcome inside Nats Park, high above the playing surface. Will Fleming and Rob Bradford. And Rob, a tone-setting kind of a victory, really kind of defined by the bullpen. 5 guys were just absolutely outstanding after Nick Pivetta. Today, I think the Red Sox would very much like James Paxton to allow them to stay away from the bullpen.
Yeah, the bullpen is rightfully so, gotten a lot of publicity and a lot of kudos. I mean, I think Alex Cora said it. This may have been his most reliable to date, best bullpen that he's had in the regular season. It's hard to argue that, Will. They have 7 guys who you can say all of them serve a purpose, all of them you feel comfortable with right now. But you're right. I mean, we saw that the impact that having a starting pitcher has, having a starting rotation have. You can set up that bullpen, and I think that will behoove them tonight, Will, to have the good version of James Paxton along the lines of what you got last time out.
Something about these great East Coast cities like Boston, like New York, like Washington, where oftentimes the pregame festivities can give you a totally different sensation. Tonight, in the heart of the nation's capital, they are celebrating the Marine Corps. The Marine Corps band was rocking earlier today before the game. They were in full formation. We had a 3-helicopter flyover before the ball game, and the mood is certainly a little different here inside this ballpark tonight. Time for the Morgan & Morgan starting lineup, brought to you by America's largest injury law firm. The Red Sox will go with Rob Refsnyder in the leadoff spot. He's in left field against the lefty Mackenzie Gore. And then Justin Turner, the DH. Rafi Devers bats third. He, of course, is at third base. Then Trevor Story cleans up. He's at shortstop. Adam Duvall in center field bats fifth. Verdugo, who led off the game with a homer, moves down in the order against the lefty Gore. He's in right field batting sixth. Pablo Reyes is the second baseman. He bats seventh. Tristan Casas, the first baseman, bats eighth. And Connor Wong catches, and he bats ninth. Major General Roberta Shea. Remember, the Marine Corps is about to offer the 2 words we've all been waiting to hear for this day: play ball. And in the full uniform, what a cool scene here in D.C. Those lineups brought to you by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. So here's Rob Refsnyder of the Red Sox in the road grays. The Nats again in the white pants, blue tops with the word Nationals cursive across the chest. And Mackenzie Gore, one of the major centerpieces in the trade with the Padres for Juan Soto a year ago, is on the mound. He throws the first pitch of the game, and Refsnyder takes strike one right over the heart of the plate. And we're underway. Right on time, 7:05, 85 degrees, brought to you by Window Nation. Protect and increase the value of your home today, 866-90-NATION, or go online at windownation.com. The 0-1 to Refsnyder, been so effective against lefties, is another fastball and another strike, and it's 0-2.
Well, Mackenzie Gore, of course, came over in that big Juan Soto trade along with C.J. Abrams. A lot of potential with this kid.
0-2 is Sky down the right field line. Lane Thomas into the corner is there to make the play, and Refsnyder is the first out of the game. Gore has been hit harder of late. He had a really excellent start to the first 3 months of the season, but over his last 6 starts, ERA north of 6, and he'll be tested by this Red Sox offense here tonight. Justin Turner bats now as the DH, followed by Devers. Gore, overall this season, 4.62 ERA, 6 wins and 9 losses. In 117 innings, he's allowed exactly that amount of hits with 134 strikeouts and only 50 walks. One down, here's JT, and he takes a strike. 96 miles an hour. This kid's got a big arm. Last time out, 6 runs over 5 innings against the Philadelphia Phillies. And in his last 3 starts combined, he's allowed 5 home runs, has Gore. The 0-1 is a foul ball, straight back, 97 miles an hour. And it's 0-2.
Talking to a couple of Red Sox people, including Chaim Bloom for a long time today, really the challenge for this Red Sox team is it's a cliche, but really to focus on one game at a time. And Adam Duvall said it best. He had one of the best comebacks with the Braves.
0-2 to Turner is a little outside.
Of course, in 2021, that was the preeminent example of a team needing to take one game at a time to get to the point where you could feel you could compete. And that's exactly what he did. But having gone through that, he's like, that's what we're doing here, and that's what we have to do.
1-2 pitch to Justin Turner is swung on and missed. He struck him out. Did Gore with a 90-mile-an-hour slider. Excellent pitch. And very quickly, 2 down. Of course, these Washington Nationals. In 2019, another team that was not in it at all. Around the All-Star break, there was talk of firing Davey Martinez. They got hot and won it all. Here now, Rafi Devers with 2 down and the bases empty, beginning the Safe Light Auto Glass part of the order. Every homer for Red Sox batters 3 through 6. Safe Light donates to the Greater Boston Food Bank as Rafi takes a mighty rip at a 90-mile-an-hour slider, and it's 0-1.
And with Duvall, what he said in that Braves team, he said, it's not like we looked ahead at all. We just woke up one day and said, hey, wait a second. We've been playing pretty well.
0-1 is looped down the third baseline behind the bag. A long run in foul territory for Vargas, and what a play. Crashing into the wall. He holds on. Foot first slide. Snow cone catch, and he appears to be okay. That was spectacular over there by the Nats third baseman. It's a miracle that he's all right. Spikes and shoulders going into the wall, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Mackenzie Gore against the Red Sox. No score after half an inning. That's coming up against Paxton after this on the Shaws and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
When you drive the most dependable mass market brand, you can stop thinking about what you can't do and start doing what you never thought possible. Visit your local Kia dealer today to see yourself behind the wheel of the #1 most dependable mass market brand 3 years in a row by J.D. Power. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-334-KIA for details. Always drive safely. Kia received the fewest reported problems among mass market brands in the J.D. Power 2021 to 2023 U.S. Vehicle Dependability Studies. 2023 study based on 2020 models. See jdpower.com/awards for 2023 details.
Moving day means you're in for a big transition. CubeSmart makes self-storage as easy as possible. Online or in person, we put the focus on you. Click now to find a self-storage solution near you.
I am not your local cat dealer. I'm just a guy with a golden voice they hired to read this ad. So if you need cat compact equipment, savings and support, and the latest technology, don't ask me. Ask your cat dealer at cat.com/yourworld.
We are the Community College of Rhode Island. You know us as CCRI, and we're more than you think. We have 4 campuses across the state with guided financial aid and scholarship opportunities and the lowest tuition in Rhode Island. We offer daytime, evening, on-campus, and online classes to help you earn your degree on your time, with more than 90 programs to help you discover your career path or advance on the one you already have. And over 70 transfer agreements. CCRI is the smart choice. We know who we are. Now it's your turn. The Community College of Rhode Island. Find your future here.
The Rich Keefe Show, weekday afternoons starting at 6. Now back to the Shaws and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
First pitch to the bottom of the first from James Paxton to C.J. Abrams is fouled off on the third base side. And Paxton is underway. 0-1 to Abrams, who walked and singled, stole a base last night. Here, he hits a little tapper foul straight back to the plate on an 85-mile-an-hour cut fastball from James. And it's 0-2. Paxton making his 16th start overall, 7-3 with a 3.36 ERA. Here's the 0-2, and that one very close, but called a ball. Fastball, and it's 1-2. Paxton last time against the Kansas City Royals earned the win with 5 1/3 scoreless. 80 1/3 innings in his 15 starts. Here's a pitch that is fouled off Abrams' front foot, and it's 1-2.
Why they're trying to figure out the Brian Bayo, get him back on track. I think guys like Paxton, Sale, they can step up and start giving 5-6 innings, be the guy that they have been so many times this year, go a long way. You just can't put all the pressure on Bayo just to be the ace as much as we want him to be.
Tanner Houck was outstanding in what is definitely his final rehab start today. With AAA Worcester, the 1-2. Two Abrams is grounded to first. Beautiful play over there by Casas on the cherry hop. He takes it to the bag himself, and there's one away. There are less stockings showing today than normally for a Red Sox glove. I mean, really the only hint of socks are Pablo Reyes, like 2 inches above his white cleats. Everybody else wearing the gray pants all the way down to the spikes. Modesty.
Bell bottoms. Bring back the bell bottoms.
Here's Lane Thomas. He drives the first pitch high and foul down the right field line. A good long run for Verdugo, but it's into the seats and out of play.
Didn't the White Sox have bell bottoms at one point? I feel like they did.
I wouldn't put it past them. Disco Demolition Derby.
Well, I know they had
Bell
shorts.
bottoms.
They had shorts at one time.
1-1, one down, bottom one, the pitch. It's a lot of ones, and here's his to the 1B bag on a hop to Tristan Casas. He's there to make the play, and they're 2 away.
I tell you what, it was a great day, not only to play the great game of baseball, but for Tristan Casas to do his pregame routine. There was a sweet spot right down the middle. Beautiful day, pregame, doing the yoga stuff.
The man loves his vitamin D.
But it's beyond just laying out now. Now it's a whole routine.
Here is Joey Meneses, right-handed hitter, as Paxton spins a curveball a little bit low, ball 1.
And I was talking to him when he came off of doing his yoga, talking about like his at-bat last night, that huge at-bat that he had against Gray.
Paxton's 1-0, fouled back with a cutter, and it's 1-1.
I said we were talking about how you set the guy up, and boy, you know, the only thing he talks longer about than his at-bats and breaking him down is his breakfast. But I tell you, he was very, very thoughtful about that whole at-bat.
1-1 is swung on a miss. Really good fastball at 95. It's 1-2. We are scoreless in the first. Arbella Insurance Foundation, dedicated to striking out cancer by supporting the Jimmy Fund. Every strikeout from a Sox pitcher, Arbella donates $50 to the Jimmy Fund. Here's the 1-2. That is crushed into the gap in right center field, and it'll split the difference between Verdugo and Duvall. Alex will pick it up with a bare hand on the track, fling it into second base, but not nearly in time, and it's a 2-out laser beam double for Joey Meneses. Yeah, Casas, I mean, he takes it all very seriously. He needs to be really vigilant about his nutrition to keep himself in good shape, and selects and prepares his own food, not on the road necessarily, but he is dialed into that. And, you know, whether it's hitting or cooking or life, there are very few people that are more interesting to talk to than Casas. Here's Keibert Ruiz, switch hitter, batting right against Paxton. He takes a fastball for strike 1.
And I do think that if he keeps going this way, we talked about it last night, Rookie of the Year is within his sights. The way that he's evolved and trended.
He's made a huge adjustment at the plate and become a total weapon. 0-1 to Ruiz. Paxton is the belt throws, and he gets a swing at a foul ball off the end of the bat, and it's quickly 0-2. I guess maybe Ruiz didn't foul it. It was in the dirt, but he certainly did not hold up the swing. And it's 0-2. Tristan's at first. Pablo Reyes, the second baseman. Story at short with Devers at third. The outfield, Duvall in center, Verdugo on right with Rob Refsnyder in left. Connor Wong, the battery mate for Paxton, who's ahead of Ruiz. 0-2 the pitch. That is a little low with a curveball. And it is a ball and 2 strikes.
It was just so fascinating listening to him, because it was about that at-bat last night. Because it wasn't only about that at-bat, it was about the previous at-bat and how he knew that Gray was going to come back at that 3-2 count with something spinning to him.
1-2 is popped up. On the right side of the infield, it's a Tristan Casas kind of an inning, powered by a great breakfast. He makes all 3 plays in the opening inning of the Red Sox, and James Paxton go to the second. Scoreless in D.C. on the Shaws and Star Market, WEI, Red Sox Radio Network.
When you drive the most dependable mass market brand, you can stop thinking about what you can't do and start doing what you never thought possible. Visit your local Kia dealer today to see yourself behind the wheel of the #1 most dependable mass market brand 3 years in a row by J.D. Power. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-334-KIA for details. Always drive safely. Kia received the fewest reported problems among mass market brands in the J.D. Power 2021 to 2023 U.S. Vehicle Dependability Studies. 2023 study based on 2020 models. See jdpower.com/awards for 2023 details.
I am not your local cat dealer. I'm just a guy with a golden voice they hired to read this ad. So if you need cat compact equipment, savings and support, and the latest technology, don't ask me. Ask your cat dealer at cat.com/yourworld.
The second half of the baseball season is here, and each game means a little bit more. We're talking pennant races and wildcard chases, with each pitch bringing us closer to the playoffs. The free Odyssey app lets you listen to live play-by-play of your local team. So no matter what you're up to, you'll never have to miss another game. Download the free Odyssey app today and keep baseball close by all summer long. That's AUDACY. Odyssey.
How powerful is Cox Internet? So powerful that one day, your daughter will be able to simulate a soccer match against some of the world's best players right from your backyard. Get gig speeds powered by fiber from Cox. It's internet built for tomorrow, today. Internet delivered through Cox's hybrid fiber coax network. Speeds vary and are not guaranteed. Cox terms and other restrictions apply.
Red Sox Review after the game on 93.7 WEEI.
Trevor Story to lead it off for the Red Sox in the top of the second. We're scoreless in the nation's capital. Story 7 for his first 22 with the Red Sox this season. Walked and struck out last night. Right-handed hitter digs in. Mackenzie Gore, who was great in the first throws, and Trevor rips one foul behind Carlos Febles, who has returned to the ball club. That's very good to see. He's in the third base coach's box, and Kyle Hudson back over at first. Story begins the Herb Chambers batting order, brought to you by Herb Chambers, Porsche, Boston, and Porsche Burlington, the 0-1. He is a little dribbler off the end of the bat. Gore looking very athletic. Gloves and spins and throws in time. And there's one away. You don't see a lot of pitchers come off the mound with that kind of athleticism. It was very nicely done by Mackenzie Gore.
I feel like if you wear the number 1, you have to be athletic. Because if you're, as Joe would say, a burly sort wearing the number 1, it's only going to highlight that. He's not a burly sort. He's very much in shape, and that was a perfect example right there.
That was impressive. Here's Adam Duvall, right-handed hitter. Gore into the windy throws, and Duvall fouls it back our way. It is, I think, literally impossible to get a foul ball into these booths.
Oh, no.
I mean,
of course.
Not scientifically, but it is so hard to have a foul ball with enough juice to get this high and this far back. The 0-1 to Duvall is another strike, and it's 0-2.
Well, in the spirit of the commentary about the height of the press box, we were all afraid that helicopters were going to fly right in the booth.
That was very cool before the game. Gore's thrown 13 pitches, and 12 of them for strikes. 0-2 to Duvall. The pitch is just off the inside. You hear the Let's Go Red Sox chants begin. Carry over from last night. It is an absolutely pro-Boston crowd. These last few years have been dire for the Nats. And attendance has really fallen off a cliff. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch to Duvall. He fouls it off. Corkscrewing swing. And it remains 1-2. It really was a moving ceremony before the game. About 100 Marines in full uniform lining the first and third base lines. Silent color guard behind home plate. Major General sang the national anthem. 1-2 to Duvall is swung on and missed. He got him with a great changeup, and this is what makes Mackenzie Gore so appealing to the Nats. He was brilliant to begin the year. They're going to manage his workload down the stretch, which makes so much sense. A young arm. He's maxed out on innings in terms of seasons past in his career, but so far so great for Gore. And with 2 down, here comes Alex Verdugo.
The talent is obvious. Anytime you're the headliner in a big trade like the Soto trade.
Pitch to Verdugo high.
But also, you look back, he was the 3rd overall pick in the draft as well. So out of high school, you know the type of expectations that come with that.
1-0 to Verdugo. 269 with 9 homers and 46 driven in. He takes a strike on the outside corner. It's 1-1.
We said it before. You know, this team is made up of so many prospects who came over in big trades, and a lot of first round picks. including the second baseman.
1-1 to Verdugo is a strike on the outside corner. That would be Michael Chavis tonight. Dom Smith at first. C.J. Abrams, the shortstop. Vargas at third. Call is in center field with Thomas moving over to right tonight and Stone Garrett out in left. 1-2. Top second here in D.C. 2 down with Verdugo left on left against Gore. Here's the pitch. And Verdugo hits a soft ground ball to first. Easy play for Smith. He will take it himself to the bag. And the inning is over. The Red Sox have had 6 men bat, and all 6 have been retired. To the bottom of the second we go. Scoreless on the Shaw's and Star Market, WEEI. Red Sox Radio Network.
When you drive the most dependable mass market brand, you can stop thinking about what you can't do and start doing what you never thought possible. Visit your local Kia dealer today to see yourself behind the wheel of the #1 most dependable mass market brand 3 years in a row by J.D. Power. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-334-KIA for details. Always drive safely. Kia received the fewest reported problems among mass market brands in the J.D. Power 2021 to 2023 U.S. Vehicle Dependability Studies. 2023 study based on 2020 models. See jdpower.com/awards for 2023 details.
Moving day means that you and the things that matter to you are in for a big transition. There's a lot to figure out. New closets, different counter space, change of floor plan. No worries. CubeSmart is here, so you have a place for everything. It's our job to make self-storage as easy as possible. Online or in person, this is a self-storage experience that puts the focus on you because you matter to us. With self-storage that fits seamlessly into your life, you'll have plenty of peace of mind to unpack along the way. Click now to find a self-storage solution near you.
Odyssey's I'm Listening is our commitment to more mental health conversations. Here's Corey Taylor of Slipknot on getting the help you need.
When people feel like they can't get any help, that's when they isolate and that's when they hurt themselves. Find what works. If it's medication, it's medication. If it's therapy, it's therapy. If it's both, it's both. But don't be afraid to try both. You know, there's nothing wrong with admitting that you need help.
Talk saves lives. For more mental health conversations, visit imlistening.org.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Keeping your kids safe is a full-time job. Whether it's putting on outlet covers, installing child gates, or gluing down your priceless vase. So Duracell made one part of childproofing simple. Our lithium coin batteries are the only ones coated in a non-toxic bitterant to help discourage swallowing. Your kid is safer, and you've got one less thing to worry about. Or glue down. Duracell. Engineered for more. Available in 2032, 2025, and 2016 sizes.
Want to listen to WEEI on the go? Just download the Odyssey app. Now, back to Red Sox baseball on WEEI.
James Paxton back to the mound for the bottom of the second. He'll see Stone Garrett, who swings and fouls the first pitch back to the screen, and it's 0-1. It is not as overcast, not as cloudy, nor as humid tonight as it was yesterday. And the nation's capital. It's a spectacular day and evening for a ball game. The 0-1 to Garrett is a changeup that misses low and outside, and it's 1-1.
It really is. This is a top 5 night in terms of weather-wise, and just a beautiful scene. As you said, the pregame, everything about it.
You can see a lot of DC, except the ball game. The 1-1 pitch is popped up on the first base side. Foul, out of play on the seats. And it's 1-2. We are just above the Shirley Povich Media Center, which is what the name, sort of the writers area. Press dining just below us and to our left. Shirley Povich, I mean, the Boston Globe, our town has had just a wonderful litany of spectacular sports writers. The 1-2 pitch is a little bit high. DC is so similar in that way. People nowadays think of names like Michael Wilbon and Tony Kornheiser, Thomas Boswell, John Feinstein. But it goes back to Shirley Povich as a curveball from Paxton misses down and in 3-2. Shirley Povich in the 20s covered Babe Ruth and became the editor of the Washington Post. Here's the 3-2, and it is fouled back to the screen by Stone Garrett. And just an absolutely revered columnist, writer, and editor who even long after retirement would write columns about the World Series and reflect on his memories of the old and modern game. The 3-2 to Stone. Garrett is swung on and missed. Curveball. And there's one away. And I know, Rob, you were inspired by so many Globe writers. I, as a kid, growing up here, in a very similar way, people often ask me, how did you get into baseball broadcasting? Were you one of these people who sat by the TV and muted it and did play-by-play? The truth of the matter is, I basically learned sports from those columnists at the Washington Post. As Dominic Smith is the hitter, James Paxton throws, and he misses outside with a curveball for ball one.
I think that the best way to learn, or the best way to fall into a passion, is just reading, or listen. In your case, listening. It really is.
1-0 is fouled back from Dom Smith, and it's 1-1.
I find it so many times that people who have the ability to write or the ability to obviously do the broadcast, they have done it. It's almost like osmosis. They have absorbed it so much from just consuming every little thing.
1-1 pitch is a ground ball on the right side. Tristan Casas plays it just foul outside the bag, and it's 1-2. I mean, this town, first and foremost, in my formative years, was a Washington Redskins town, period. Full stop, end of story. It was a real binding agent here. As people know, this is really, by its nature, a divisive place. You got politics, which is warfare, and people pitted against each other on both sides of the aisle. And the football team here in town, for many, many years, was the one thing that everybody agreed upon. 1-2 as Paxton throws, and a pitch misses outside. A cut fastball to Dom Smith, and it's 2-2. That changed over the last decade with Daniel Snyder and his ownership group essentially running one of the great pro sports franchises totally into the ground. The 2-2 pitch is up the middle, past the back of Paxton. Story gloves and throws to first in time to get Dominic Smith. And there are two away. That was another great play and a strong arm on display from Trevor Story.
It just shows the athleticism once again, and we're seeing that more and more from Trevor Story. He has to race in and get the ball about 15 feet in front of the second base bag. Paxton just wasn't able to get it on the run, make the transfer. You just forget. I mean, I don't think we appreciated how good an athlete this guy was last year because he was playing a different position.
Here's Ildemaro Vargas. He skies one high in the air, and on one pitch, Verdugo will retire him, and the inning is over. It's just taken 28 pitches for Paxton to put the Nats down in the first two innings after two scoreless in the Shaws and Star Market, WEEI, Red Sox Radio Network.
When you drive the most dependable mass market brand, you can stop thinking about what you can't do and start doing what you never thought possible. Visit your local Kia dealer today to see yourself behind the wheel of the #1 most dependable mass market brand 3 years in a row by J.D. Power. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-334-KIA for details. Always drive safely. Kia received the fewest reported problems among mass market brands in the J.D. Power 2021 to 2023 U.S. Vehicle Dependability Studies. 2023 study based on 2020 models. See jdpower.com/awards for 2023 details.
Where easy listening goes all electric with your favorite hits like impressive style and intuitive touchscreen
Easy peasy, easy peasy, yeah.
and smooth acceleration.
Easy peasy.
The all-electric BZ4X. Electric made easy beasy. Toyota, let's go places.
You're listening to the Sox on the Shaws and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network. Now back to the play-by-play action.
To the third inning we go, and Pablo Reyes would lead it off. By the way, when Alex Verdugo finished the second, he completed the Safe Flight Auto Glass part of the order. When Red Sox batters 3 through 6 hit a home run, Safe Flight donates $200 to the Greater Boston Food Bank. So here is Pablo, who has absolutely been a revelation for the Red Sox this year. The pitch from Mackenzie Gore is another fastball for a strike. This guy, Mackenzie Gore, has just been filling up the zone. 21 pitches, 18 of them strikes. The 0-1 to Pablo is a little bit outside of fastball, and it's 1-1.
Well, Will, you gave Pablo Reyes a nickname on Twitter, which I wish I could repeat, but Everyone's talking about it. I think it's caught the spirit of the thing, in the words of the great Dickie Dunn.
Here's the 1-1 check from Gore. The pitch is a little bit outside. We've been having a little fun with some audio submissions about players on this Red Sox team, and I just love the story of Pablo Reyes. He was so fun with us on the air last night.
Great.
2-1, yellow batting gloves again. Gore throws, and Pablo bounces one foul outside the third base bag, and it's 2-2.
I had a long sit down with Chaim Bloom today before the game, and I finished it by I just say, hey, listen, we've talked about the good and the bad in the last couple week and a half, but I said I'll end on this. How did you find Pablo Reyes? And he was honest. He said, I didn't really know much about him, and this is where you lean on everybody in that organization, say this is the guy we should go after.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. It's a soft ground ball to the left side. The shortstop Abrams has the second hop. He throws to first, and in plenty of time, Pablo is gone. League leaders and who's circling the drain, presented by Drains by James, Eastern Mass's choice for drain cleaning and pipelining, residential and commercial, at drainsbyjames.com, who, by the way, of course, give a poop about your pipes.
I tell you what, Will, Pablo Reyes, he struggled coming out of the batter's box. He slipped a little bit.
Yeah.
And it seemed like he's shaking out that right leg.
Yeah, he just sort of grabbed at his heel on the way into the dugout as Casas takes an enormous rip at a fastball, and it's 0-1. We don't often give you the league leaders in the National League, and of course, in this home of the Washington Nationals, why not? And it's going to be a lot of Matt Olson as the 0-1 to Casas misses outside, and it's 1-1. I mean, Olson with 43 home runs, 107 runs batted in, both those tops in the league. Ronald Acuna has 55 steals. The 1-1 to Casas fouled off on the third base side, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. He's got the best slugging average, .619, best OPS, 1,006. And he has been an absolute revelation.
Matt Olson was on a very popular podcast, Pardon My Take, and they were talking about sidearm pitchers. He said, yeah, that guy Schreiber from the Red Sox, he's really tough.
You mean Johnny Leverage. Here's the 1-2 to Tristan Casas. The pitch is outside, and it's 2-2.
I don't know who that is, but I think he was talking about John Schreiber.
Isn't that amazing, too, against a left-handed hitter? That his stuff is that nasty.
They said, you used to have those guys, but nobody threw 95.
2-2. Casas drives one high and deep into left field. Back on it, Garrett. At the warning track, he will get there in front of the wall to make the play. Still an impressive swing from Casas, but he is retired, as have been the first 8 Red Sox hitters. And now here comes Connor Wong. In this third inning, the Herb Chambers batting order brought to you by Herb Chambers Genesis of Auburn.
One of the things I was talking about with Chaim today was how everything has changed since you don't have the waiver trade deadline anymore. There's no other options. You have your team. You got to rely on your own farm system.
Pitch to Connor Wong is outside. I mean, what you said earlier is so true, where it is a full front office win to find a guy like Pablo Reyes. And I mean, that's one thing that anyone who spent any time around Chaim can say definitively. The 1-0 pitch is a little low. He's honest, sometimes to a fault. I mean, he shows his cards all the time. And I think when you're in those moments, we all remember when the Red Sox had such a shortage on the middle infield. It was total scramble mode. It was not the time of year when a lot of transactions are made. The 2-0 is swung on a miss. There is just no way to have thought that a guy that was essentially released by the Oakland Athletics would be this valuable for the Red Sox, and he has been. 2-1 to Wong. The pitch is fouled back, and it's 2-2.
Well, and that's the thing, is that it's really, they know that they've run out of options when it came to that position. And so he goes, okay, what can we do? And you remember the guy everyone was screaming for, Jose Iglesias.
Get Iggy with it. It is 2-2 to Connor Wong. With 2 down in the third, the pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him with a great curveball. And the inning is over. Mackenzie Gore perfect through 3. And Pablo Reyes, a lot of nights, has been perfect for the Red Sox. Paxton back to the mound after this in the Shaw's and Star Market, WEI, Red Sox Radio Network.
When you drive the most dependable mass market brand, you can stop thinking about what you can't do and start doing what you never thought possible. Visit your local Kia dealer today to see yourself behind the wheel of the #1 most dependable mass market brand 3 years in a row by J.D. Power. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-334-KIA for details. Always drive safely. Kia received the fewest reported problems among mass market brands in the J.D. Power 2021 to 2023 U.S. Vehicle Dependability Studies. 2023 study based on 2020 models. See jdpower.com/awards for 2023 details.
Radio BZ4X,
Where easy listening goes all electric. And we're taking your requests. Hello, caller. What can we play for you?
Hi, first-time caller, long-time listener. I'd love to hear something with an easy driving beat.
Coming right up.
Woo!
The all-electric BZ4X. Electric made easy beasy. Toyota, let's go places.
Hey, Rob Bradford here. I have set out on a mission with my good friends at FanDuel to prove what I have known for some time. Baseball isn't boring. Now I have a daily podcast to prove it with some of the most notable people in the baseball world, screaming baseball isn't boring from the mountaintops, or at least agreeing to come on our show. Players, managers, GMs, and yes, even the commissioner of baseball, Rob Manfred. It has been a constant wave of baseball's most powerful voices. So join the revolution. Subscribe and soak in Baseball Isn't Boring. Listen on your Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcast. You'll be glad you did.
Hey, this is Tristan Casas. This is the home of the Sox, WEEI.
James Paxton back to the mound facing our old buddy Michael Chavis, who has not seen a lot of the field this year with the Nats, a right-handed hitter, of course. Takes a fastball from Paxton outside, and that is ball one. I always loved being around Chavis. 1-0 pitch is swung on and fouled straight back, and it's 1-1. Talkative guy, gregarious. I think sometimes, as a young player in what were very established veteran clubhouses, he didn't rub everybody necessarily the right way, as the 1-1 is fouled off the end of the bat. But I always very much enjoyed talking to him, and I'm glad he's found a home in D.C. He went to the Pirates for Austin Davis. Chance to play most days there. 1-2, and he drives one high and deep into left field. This thing is crushed, and it is gone. You got to be kidding me. Michael Chavis goes yard, and it's 1-0 Nationals. He did always have that power against lefties. He gets his old club, and he gives the Nats the game's first run.
You know, there's not a lot of guys on the other side. I was talking to Chavis before about that are still around since he was there. But that being said, it must be sweet to do it against the team that traded him away. There's no getting around that.
He'll go back into the dugout, open up his journal, write about that pitch from James Paxton. That is undoubtedly the best moment of his season in his mind. Here is Alex Call, another guy who has had a rough year but does hit lefties. He takes pitch from lefty. Paxton on the outside corner, 0-1.
It's interesting. The Chavis conversation is an interesting one because you're right, Will. When he first came up, I think some people were like, why are you out there so much?
Well, 1-0 is fouled off. And by that you mean never met a camera he didn't like. He talked to all the writers. He was on social media nonstop.
And there was, noticing that, having talked to him early on, there was a noticeable drawback of, and I think it was very uncomfortable for him to walk through a clubhouse sort of with his head down, which is clearly not the case anymore.
0-2 to Alex Call. The pitch is in the dirt. And by the way, I'm not saying I necessarily agree with that impression of him. And I think nowadays, guys like Tristan Casas and Jarren Duran are allowed to be more themselves. And I think that's a real positive.
I've had this conversation a ton, and with a lot of players over the last year, and everybody says it's gotten so much better.
1-2 is popped up on the left side, foul side of third. Wong and Devers come together, and it's actually into the seats and out of play.
And really the consensus is, why did it take us this long to realize this? Because if you are up on a team with 26 other players or 25 other players then why wouldn't you want to be the best version of yourself? And the best version of yourself isn't having to look over your shoulder about who's saying you should do this or shouldn't do that.
1-2 pitch is down and away. Change up 2-2. Like, I do think there's a balance where people like Casas and Duran, they need to be themselves to get ready for games. The pregame routine, the way they behave on the field. The 2-2 is popped up on the right side of the infield. Reyes and Casas come together, and Tristan will call Pablo off and make the play. There is the first out of this third. I would just say that the one main difference is most veteran players would say that it's probably the best policy in the social world with television and the print media, Twitter, Instagram, to keep your head down a little bit until you do something on the field. One down, here's C.J. Abrams. The pitch to him is a strike on the outside corner. Whereas with Casas and Duran, it's mostly about, let them be them to get ready for games. Who cares if they're shoeless on the field before the game? The 0-1 is one of the most awkward swings you'll ever see on a fastball. He was guessing for something else. Was Abrams, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, I do think that, there's different approaches.
Paxton ready with the 0-2. Abrams takes outside.
And you're right, Will. I mean, I think that it all depends on what we're talking about. I think that if, for instance, for Justin Turner never goes to seek people out to say, hey, I'm the leader of this team.
1-2 is swung on a miss by C.J. Abrams. A curveball in the dirt. He is gone. And they're 2 down. But he just acted the part.
He acted the part. And so if you're a rookie, you're a young player, you do the right things, you make yourself available, you don't try to be a spokesman for anything you shouldn't be a spokesman for, which I've seen that in the past too, Will.
Delicate balance these days. Here's Lane Thomas as Paxton throws. And Thomas takes curveball in the dirt for ball 1. Now through Thursday at Shaw's and Star Market, 2-liter bottles of Coke or Pepsi or 28-ounce Gatorade for 97 cents. When you use the digital coupon, limit 6. Save on Coke, Pepsi, and Gatorade today at Shaw's and Star Market. 1-0 to Thomas. The pitch is in the dirt. A great report today from Worcester on the Ketchus Law Group injury report, and that is Tanner Houck was awesome. Allowed just 1 blue pit over 4 innings, 1 point retired 10 straight. The 2-0 is a little bit outside to Lane Thomas, ball 3. He's going to start Monday for the Red Sox in Houston. What a lift that will be. 3-0. Here's the pitch. And a shot into left field. A line drive, 1 hopper off the infield dirt, and Lane Thomas. That's the Nats' 3rd hit. He extends the inning with 2 down for Joey Meneses. I heard Alex Cora say today with Gresham Fourier in his weekly appearance that he's excited to see Tanner Houck back and that Garrett Whitlock returning to the mound. As Alex put it, he said, now we can have fun. It just sort of sets everything else up. Here's Meneses, right-handed hitter. Paxton throws, and he misses a little bit inside with a fastball, and it's 1-0.
It's definitely a vibe of confidence that really I don't think they've had in a long, long time. But all that said, they have such a fine line still in this race for viability in the standings.
1-0 pitch is down and in. And that's true because of the Blue Jays and the Mariners and the schedules that remain. But 2 things can be true at the same time. And one of those is that they are getting healthy. They are getting better. They're getting stars back. 2-0. Paxton pitches, and Meneses skies one high into left center field, racing in Duvall, and he won't get it. It falls in front of him for a hit. Adams' throw to third is high. Devers' tag is just laid. That's a very close play. I'm sure the Red Sox will want to consult with the video room there. Lane Thomas took a big risk there. They will not look a little bit high on the throw from Duvall, and the Nationals have him at first and third.
Man, you are correct. What a risk Thomas took right there, but he didn't break stride. It's such a big outfield, and Duvall a little bit late getting in on it, but he was going to get that ball on the 1 hop and have a clean throw, which he did, just a little late.
So Paxton in a little bit of a bind here. He's already given up the homer to Chavis. Now a couple of hits with 2 down. TC with runners at first and third for Keibert Ruiz, their cleanup hitter. The Diesel Direct question of the day is brought to you by Diesel Direct. To remind you to stop wasting time at the pump and get on-site fuel. The Diesel Direct will get you the answer and the results of our poll in the 7th inning. At Sox Booth is the handle. And it has to do with whom you would prefer to see leading off for the Red Sox against lefties, Rob Refsnyder or Alex Verdugo. Here's Keibert Ruiz, who takes a pitch on the outside corner. Good curveball, and it's 0-1. I mean,
how about Pablo Reyes? Throw him in there. Let's go.
And the way he's going, he could do anything. Get you the results of that poll in the 7th. 0-1. First and third pitch is a ground ball towards short, backhanded by Story. He calmly goes the short way to Pablo at second, and the inning is over. It is so fun to watch Trevor Story play shortstop. We go to the 4th inning. 1-0 Nats in the Shaw's and Star Market. WEEI, Red Sox Radio Network.
When you drive the most dependable mass market brand, you can stop thinking about what you can't do and start doing what you never thought possible. Visit your local Kia dealer today to see yourself behind the wheel of the #1 most dependable mass market brand 3 years in a row by J.D. Power. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-334-KIA for details. Always drive safely. Kia received the fewest reported problems among mass market brands in the J.D. Power 2021 to 2023 U.S. Vehicle Dependability Studies. 2023 study based on 2020 models. See jdpower.com/awards for 2023 details.
The second half of the baseball season is here, and each game means a little bit more. We're talking pennant races and wild card chases, with each pitch bringing us closer to the playoffs. The free Odyssey app lets you listen to live play-by-play of your local team. So no matter what you're up to, you'll never have to miss another game. Download the free Odyssey app today and keep baseball close by all summer long. That's AUDACY. Odyssey.
Arbella Insurance is the presenting sponsor of the Jimmy Fund Radio Telethon. We've been proudly supporting Dana Farber and the Jimmy Fund and its mission to provide life-saving cancer care, research, education, and prevention for over 15 years. Donate $50 or more to the Jimmy Fund, and you could save 6% off your car insurance with Arbella. Find a local independent agent at arbella.com. Arbella, here for the Jimmy Fund. Here for good.
The Greg Hill Show, weekdays, 5:30 to 10.
Now back to the Shaw's and Star Market, WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
Red Sox did not have a base runner the first time through the order. Second time begins with Rob Refsnyder, then Justin Turner and Rafi Devers against Mackenzie Gore in the Herb Chambers batting order, which is brought to you by Herb Chambers, Ford of Braintree and Ford of Westboro. Here's Refsnyder. Gore throws, and Rob takes a fastball for a strike on the outside corner. This has been just an amazing performance so far. He's thrown 36 pitches, 27 of them strikes. He generally gets more swings and misses with his curveball than anything else, as he misses inside with the fastball. He's only needed the fastball the overwhelming majority of this start. It has been an electric pitch. 1-1 to Refsnyder, who flied to right his first time. The pitch is tapped foul, third base side, and it's 1-2. Braves already lead the Yankees 2-0 there. The wheels are coming off the New York Yankees. They're right at 500, chance to dip below in Atlanta tonight. 1-2 to Ref. Pitch is high and tight, fastball, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, well, the Yankees came into today 6.5 back in the wild card. Yikes.
Changes are a-coming there. Gore has thrown 39 pitches, 25 of them fastballs. Here's the 2-2. And Refsnyder swings and misses at a great fastball, and he is gone. 10 up and 10 down, 4 strikeouts for Gore. And here comes Justin Turner. It is easy to see the talent that made Gore the 3rd overall pick, that popped him as the top pitching prospect in the Padres organization, a top 5 overall prospect. He is mowing the Red Sox down here early. 1 down, here's Turner. 1-0 Nationals. Gore throws, and Justin takes just outside. Fastball 1-0.
Well, we talked about that Soto trade, but you really got to hit on those sort of deals. It sure looks like the Nationals did exactly that. C.J. Abrams, Mackenzie Gore. They got this kid, Robert Hassel, also top prospect.
1-0 is lined into right field. It is sinking, and there is the Red Sox first hit. Down in front of Lane Thomas. Wouldn't you know it? Justin Turner breaks up the perfecto. Still only the fourth inning, but still, Turner is the Red Sox first base runner. And with one down, here comes Rafi. Yeah, I mean, Rob, two of the guys they got are drawing rave reviews in the lower levels of the minor leagues.
You're talking about, like I said, this outfielder Hassel, who's still in the minor leagues, and he was the 8th overall pick in the 2020 draft. You have Mackenzie Gore, the 3rd overall pick.
Here is Rafi, who takes low ball one. I mean, A.J. Preller wheels and deals, and to get Juan Soto with 2.5 years of full control, they gave up the farm. And this kid Gore is looking great tonight.
I could go back to the standings. And the Yankees, obviously, we talked about 6.5 back in the wild card.
Turner leading at first, 1-0 to Devers. Here's the pitch. He swings and misses a big fastball, and it's 1-1.
Well, how about this? The Angels, who made all those moves, they're 8 back in the wild card right now, which just happens to be the exact distance the New York Mets are in the wild card.
And the Padres have been teetering for much of the year. 1-1 to Devers, who loves this ballpark. The pitch is a ground ball to the left side that might be 2. Flip to second for 1. Abrams throw to first. Not in time. Actually, they call him out. There's no way, I don't think, to the naked eye that Devers was out.
Yeah, Kyle Hudson immediately pointing to the dugout.
I mean, the Red Sox are going to look at this. Listen, we are on top of the world. We are 700 yards from first base.
You could have stopped right there. We are on top of the world.
And real time, even from here, you could tell that Devers, who, we'll check the numbers, that's got to be about his fastest sprint speed of the whole year. It seemed pretty apparent that he beat that throw to the first base bag.
Well, I love, like as I said, when you have the first base coach just casually say, no, just review it. I mean,
immediately. They in this booth, they show us the sort of the video board feed. We're watching the replay here. And, yeah, of course he's safe. I mean, by a lot. Of course, in baseball, right, I mean, it's bang, bang. We're talking about milliseconds or half seconds or whatever, but you don't often see one miss that badly at first base.
No. I was kind of impressed at the time. Abrams' throw from short to first had a lot on it. Very impressive athletic play, but you're right. And it's even with that wasn't a doubt. Won't be a doubt.
So this should not take much time. Here we go.
After the review, the call on the field is overturned. The runner is safe. Boston will retain their challenge.
And Mark Wegner's a very good umpire. He's the crew chief here, but that was just a blatant miss at the first base bag. So the inning continues, which is significant because now with 2 down, here comes Trevor Story. Fourth inning is brought to you by Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. Help a child, 877 Cars for Kids or carsforkids.com. 1-0 Nationals with 2 down and Rafi at first in this top of the fourth. Here's the pitch to Story, and it's a strike on the inside corner. Now, most of the time, if it's a close play, you wait for the umpire. I was so sure about that one that you just said not in time, and it just seems so obvious. Which just doesn't happen at this level that often. 0-1 pitch. Story takes down and in. It's 1-1. It's the unusual 5-6 put out at second base. That happens these days with left-handed hitters. They don't shift anymore, but the Nationals very much had Rafi played to pull.
I was talking to Gary DiSarcina, the third base coach. He loves the no shift.
I'm with him on that. 1-1 to Story. Here's the pitch. Trevor swings and misses over a curveball. And it's a ball and 2 strikes.
Well, of course, DiSar was a guy who was just so spectacular defensively, uses athleticism, and for him to every single day to see a kid like C.J. Abrams run around, use his athleticism at shortstop, which wouldn't be the case. It's like you couldn't, now you can't hide players at positions.
And more to the point, it is so valuable when you have players with range. Like the man at the plate for the Red Sox right here and right now, Trevor Story. 1-2. Devers being held at first with 2 down. 1-0 Nats in the top of the fourth. Mackenzie Gore throws to first, which seems somewhat pointless. I would be absolutely stunned if Devers were off to the races here.
I don't know. We saw Cassis go in motion yesterday. I should have asked him about that.
Yeah, you failed.
That was a miss.
Too busy hearing about Eggs Benedict.
There was a lot going on before the game today.
As there so often is for Bradfo. 1-2, the pitch to Story is swung on and missed. He struck him out, and through 4 innings, this is one of the best starts we've seen the entire season. Mackenzie Gore has been awesome. We go to the bottom of the 4th. 1-0 Nats in the Shaws and Star Market. WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
When you drive the most dependable mass market brand, you can stop thinking about what you can't do and start doing what you never thought possible. Visit your local Kia dealer today to see yourself behind the wheel of the #1 most dependable mass market brand 3 years in a row by J.D. Power. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-334-KIA for details. Always drive safely. Kia received the fewest reported problems among mass market brands in the J.D. Power 2021 to 2023 U.S. Vehicle Dependability Studies. 2023 study based on 2020 models. See jdpower.com/awards for 2023 details.
At Casper, we love sleep as much as you do. That's why we're bringing back the very first bed-in-a-box millions love at a price everyone will love. Meet the Casper. Shop online or visit a Casper sleep shop near you today. Casper, for the love of sleep. Exclusions apply. See casper.com/promo.
Where easy listening goes all electric. The all-electric BZ4X. Toyota. Let's go places.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Gresh and Fourier, weekdays 10 to 2.
Now back to the Shaws and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
1-0 Nationals. Mackenzie Gore has been unreal tonight. Here's Stone Garrett facing James Paxton to begin the 4th, and he swings over the top of a curveball. And it's 0-1. Tanner Houck was great today down at AAA Worcester. 4 great innings. And sort of true to form, he was pretty funny when asked about whether he feels a little scared getting on the mound after taking the line drive to the face. 1-1, Paxton winds, he throws. And a foul ball on the first base side. It's 0-2. He said, next time I just got to duck.
I still want to get a photo. In his locker, he has the skull, a plastic skull, which was obviously a 3D image that they made of him with all the markings.
0-2 is high and deep into left center field. Back on it, Duvall at the warning track at the wall, and this is gone. Second solo homer of the night for the Nationals. Stone Garrett makes it 2-0 Washington.
Well, if you see Stone Garrett in person, you say this is a guy who's going to hit some home runs. He is put together, and right there, he laid into one.
What a bad pitch, actually. It's a breaking ball down beneath the zone. And he just golfed it out.
I mean, that's the ultimate. You have to be really, really strong in order to hit that sort of pitch out.
By the way, I adore the Nationals home run celebration. I think so many of them are gimmicky now as Dom Smith swings over the top of a fastball. It's 0-1. I missed the laundry cart. I think that was the high water mark for the Red Sox. I think the Triton's pretty good for the Seattle Mariners. Yep. I guess it's the Trident as a pitch on the outside corner. 0-2. The Nationals were a colonial era presidential wig.
Pretty good.
That's awesome.
Pretty good.
0-2. Here's the pitch. And it's grounded fair inside the first base bag. Casas has it. He will hold Paxton away. 1 down. It is white hair, curled, braided all the way down the back. That is an outstanding choice for the Nationals.
If you're arrested in England, that's what you're going to have to look at.
Yeah, you could speak in the old days in front of Parliament.
I will. I love some good home run celebration talk. I love home run celebrations. The Red Sox have done a lot of good things this year.
Ildemaro Vargas is batting for the right side. That's a strike on the outside corner, 0-1.
This is the equivalent of me saying I like you personally.
They got to up the game next year.
No, this is not a good one this year.
I mean, it's great. If it were just for Massa, that would be awesome. The 0-1 pitch is skied on the right side of the infield. Casas and Reyes come together. Tristan's had a very busy night. He makes the play. 2 down. It'll bring up Michael Chavis. I mean, it was his thing, the Macho Man over in Japan. It's hilarious when he does it. For everybody else, I do think it falls a little flat.
There's also, you're walking through, okay, I got these dumbbells. Now what do I do? You're kind of waiting for the next thing to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Someone to be lowered from the sky or something.
2 down in the fourth, 2-0 as Chavis swings through a fastball from Paxton, and it's 0-1.
Speaking of the laundry cart,
Kevin Plawecki.
our good friend Kevin Plawecki released by the Rangers. We saw that coming, though, when they made a catching acquisition.
There's a violation on somebody, and it's on the hitter, Michael Chavis. So that will run the count to 0-2. Chavis homered his last time. Paxton throws, and the Ice Horse fouls it straight back. Subaru New England scoreboard. Don't miss out on Subaru summer. Make the most of summer in a brand new 2023 Subaru. Details at SubaruofNewEngland.com. We told you the Braves quickly ahead of the New York Yankees. 2-0 in the third inning there. Rays beat the Giants early today 6-1 as Chavis fouls one off. Let's take 10 seconds for station ID on the Shaws and Star Market Red Sox Radio Network.
From the WEEI studios, 93.7 WEEI FM and HD1, Lawrence, Boston. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Will Fleming, Rob Bradford in the nation's capital. Darkening skies. It's like a blanket of cloud cover overhead. Some of it touching my head as Chavis swings and misses at a 98-mile-an-hour fastball, and the inning is over. That was real giddy up from Paxton. A little anger behind that one. Another homer for the Nationals. 2-0 after 4 over the Sox on the Shaws and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
When you drive the most dependable mass market brand, you can stop thinking about what you can't do and start doing what you never thought possible. Visit your local Kia dealer today to see yourself behind the wheel of the #1 most dependable mass market brand 3 years in a row by J.D. Power. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-334-KIA for details. Always drive safely. Kia received the fewest reported problems among mass market brands in the J.D. Power 2021 to 2023 U.S. Vehicle Dependability Studies. 2023 study based on 2020 models. See jdpower.com/awards for 2023 details.
Hey, Rob Bradford here. I have set out on a mission with my good friends at FanDuel to prove what I have known for some time. Baseball isn't boring. Now I have a daily podcast to prove it with some of the most notable people in the baseball world, screaming baseball isn't boring from the mountaintops, or at least agreeing to come on our show. Players, managers, GMs, and yes, even the commissioner of baseball, Rob Manfred. It has been a constant wave of baseball's most powerful voices. So join the revolution. Subscribe and soak in Baseball Isn't Boring. Listen on your Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcast. You'll be glad you did.
It's time to get health insurance. Whether you're losing Mass Health coverage or looking for a new plan, the Massachusetts Health Connector can help. In Massachusetts, everyone is required by law to be insured, and the Health Connector is the only place to get help paying for your health insurance. Find the right plan for you and your family. Visit mahealthconnector.org or call 1-877-MA-ENROLL. That's 1-877-MA-ENROLL. Act now. Stay covered.
Jones and Mego, weekdays 2 to 6.
Now back to the Shaws and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
Red Sox need the offense to kick it into gear here. As we go into the top of the fifth inning, Adam Duvall, Alex Verdugo, and Pablo Reyes with the Nats leading 2-0. That's the Herb Chambers batting order brought to you by Herb Chambers pre-owned cars and trucks. Duvall struck out his first time against the brilliant Mackenzie Gore thus far, and Duvall swings at the first pitch. Curveball fouls it off on the third base side. It is 0-1.
Today's the bark in the park. Various teams have this where you bring a dog to the game.
Mm-hmm.
I never quite understood the viability of that.
A lot of cleanup involved.
It just seems like a good idea, like maybe for Jumbotron purposes.
Mm-hmm. Not so much if you're sitting next to one. 0-1 pitch, misses outside of Duvall.
Do you have to buy a seat for the dog?
I think it's limited to certain sections of the ballpark. I think. Like, it doesn't seem to me you could, like, be in the VIP club with your Labradoodle as the 1-1 is swung on and missed by Duvall, and it's a ball and 2 strikes.
Well, we've had a couple of mascots come up to the booth. Can we have a dog come up to the booth?
I think we're all set.
No, we're good? Honestly, I'd be afraid it would jump out the window.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Doggy heaven. 1-2 to Duvall. He calls time. I did see some dogs outside the ballpark. And let me just say there was some irresponsible ownership going on pregame. 1-2 to Duvall. The pitch is a fastball high, and it's 2-2.
Are we going to see something on TMZ? Red Sox broadcaster scolds dog owners outside ballpark?
Hey, man, nothing but a subtle eye roll. Isn't that like the golden rule of having a dog? Bring the bags. Especially when you're bringing them to a ballpark. 2-2 to Duvall. Swing and a foul. I would imagine the Nats have those here on hand tonight.
I would hope so. If they're smart, they get those sponsored.
I'll tell you right now, we would not want them in our booth right now because there are about 75 rib bones on a plate in front of you.
I like to, much like my dress, I like to make sure I'm not cold. I like to make sure I'm not hungry.
2-2 pitch to Duvall is popped up high into center field. Lane Thomas gives way to Call. And Alex Call reaches up with the left hand to make the play.
So, Will, this trip has allowed me to really bookmark things in my life. Number one, you know the famous picture of me and Bill Murray from 30 years ago?
Yes, I do.
Where I took a selfie at Camden Yards in the All-Star game. And Bill Murray was at Logan Airport when I was flying here, sitting by himself.
This time, huh? One down in the 5th inning, 2-0 Nationals. Here's Alex Verdugo, noted Bill Murray fan. The pitch to him is high in the air and hit very well. Back on it is Garrett. At the track, he will get there and make the play. And the ball's just not carrying that way for left-handed hitters like Casas and Verdugo. Struck well, but 2 down.
But I tell you what, that ball's probably off the wall at Fenway, and Verdugo's swinging much, much better. Anyway, 8 o'clock in the morning, Bill Murray's sitting there by himself.
Just like at the gate.
Yeah, just at a gate, all by himself.
That surprises me.
And I said, I got to shoot my shot here. I have this picture. It's one of my cherished possessions.
Here's Pablo Reyes. The pitch is popped up foul on the first base side.
So I walk up to him. At first, he's going to give me the stiff arm, but I shoved the photo in his face.
Yeah, you did.
He's like, where was this? I'm like, Camden Yards, 1993. He's like, that was a good party.
You know, he was at Sean McDonough's charity golf tournament last week. 0-1 to Pablo Reyes. The pitch is lined down the right field line and just foul. Man, that was almost extra bases for Reyes, but it's 0-2.
Well, so the rest of the conversation was, he's like, oh, yeah, Camden Yards, second best ballpark. I'm going to go after Wrigley. I'm like, what do you think of Fenway? Did you go to Fenway? I know you were at Sean McDonough's golf tournament. He's like, Fenway. And then he got legitimately upset that I would suggest it was in the same category as Wrigley. And ultimately, our conversation and our relationship ended with him saying, you better get out of here, saying that Fenway's in the same classification as Wrigley. I'm trying to have a good morning.
Wow. Listen.
I'm like, okay, that's good.
Gunga Galunga. Big hitter, the Llama Long. I love Bill Murray. One of the great comedians of his generation. The 0-2 pitch to Pablo is strike 3 call, but he could not possibly be more wrong about that. Stick to comedy, Bill. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. 2-0 Nationals on the Shaws and Star Market. WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
When picking a commerce platform, you have 2 choices.
Oh, you piece of...
Or, yeah! That's the sound of selling on Shopify, the commerce platform that supercharges your selling online and in person. Why battle inferior platforms' weak tools?
You...
And limited integrations.
Would have helped to know this.
Join the millions of businesses growing on Shopify and ignite your selling.
Less, more.
Start your free trial today at shopify.com/Odyssey free. Shopify.com/Odyssey free.
When you drive the most dependable mass market brand, you can stop thinking about what you can't do and start doing what you never thought possible. Visit your local Kia dealer today to see yourself behind the wheel of the #1 most dependable mass market brand 3 years in a row by J.D. Power. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-334-KIA for details. Always drive safely. Kia received the fewest reported problems among mass market brands in the J.D. Power 2021 to 2023 U.S. Vehicle Dependability Studies. 2023 study based on 2020 models. See jdpower.com/awards for 2023 details.
Looking for a deal on your next vehicle? Then you have to visit Flood Ford. Our team is committed to going above and beyond to make the car buying process easy and stress-free. Stop in and shop a variety of F-150 models, all with transparent pricing, no markups, no games. What you see is what you pay. And every vehicle is backed by our Flood Advantage plan. You get free dent repair, free windshield repair, free key replacement, and so much more. In the market to upgrade, we'll give you top dollar for your trade-in. We buy all makes and models. And when you need to service your vehicle, we have you covered with convenient pickup and delivery, a courtesy shuttle, and certified technicians you can trust. Whether you're a lifelong Ford driver or looking to make the switch, there's never been a better time or place to get behind the wheel of a new Ford than right now at Flood Ford. Make the drive for a better buying experience today. Visit us in East Greenwich or Narragansett, or shop online anytime at floodauto.com.
The Rich Keefe Show, weekday afternoons starting at 6. Now back to the Shaws and Star Market, WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
James Paxton back to the mound for the bottom of the fifth inning. 2-0 Nats. Alex Carr, the the Washington 9-hole hitter. Swings at a first pitch fastball, and it's straight back to the screen. 0-1. The Red Sox code word of the game is hit for the cycle. Make sure to enter your code word in the member portal today to claim your points. Be hard for somebody to hit for the cycle at this point of this game for the Red Sox. Here's the 0-1, and it misses. I mean, the Sox have one hit through 5 innings, and I think that has much more to do with Mackenzie Gore than their offense. 1-1 Story and Reyes way back on the middle infield. Devers in at third. The 1-1 a little bit high to call. 2 balls and a strike.
Have you ever done that? Gone up to someone at the airport that was famous that you wanted to meet? Just said, want to say hello?
You know what? I usually just leave everybody alone. Just kind of a personal policy of mine is the 2-1 pitch is a little bit outside.
That's my policy as well. I mean, this Bill Murray incident was, and that's what they're calling it now, the Bill Murray incident, is that, I felt like this was an outlier, that it had to be done.
Here's a pitch to call that misses outside. That is a walk of the 9-hole hitter by Paxton that begins the 5th. Yeah, you do celebrate that picture more than most things in your life. So it's time to revisit it.
It may have been the world's first selfie. Mm-hmm. It was done with a disposable camera, perfectly framed by Bill Murray.
Well, you've aged very well. Here's C.J. Abrams. He takes a fastball for a strike from Paxton, and it's 0-1.
Can we just isolate that comment, please?
Devers is now in on the grass at third.
Of all the insults you have given me, that might have been the worst right there.
What do you mean? I just said you've aged very well as Abrams fouls it off on the first base line, and it's 0-2. Oh, man. I'm sorry you couldn't get a reprisal of that shot, Rob. I really am.
I know. Well,
once he said Wrigley was way better than Fenway.
He was legitimately.
I mean, look, everyone is entitled, obviously, to their opinion. 0-2 to C.J. Abrams. The pitch is outside. To me, that's outrageous.
He called Fenway a shopping mall.
Okay. He's going for a bit. We get it.
I don't know.
1-2.
There was no one else around but me.
Paxton at the belt throws, and he misses outside with a fastball, and it's 2-2. I love Wrigley, but they're just different.
Yeah, they are different. The thing that's striking about Wrigley compared to Fenway is that when you're inside, Wrigley feels really old, and not necessarily in a great way.
2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch is a little outside with a cutter, and it's 3-2 to Abrams.
Yeah, and I'm not going down the stock standard road, but but Fenway just has been able to, I think, modernize it on the fly a little bit better than Wrigley.
And I'll follow up on that in just a moment after this 3-2 pitch call. Not running. The pitch is grounded to first. Casas to a knee, spins, throws to second for 1. Relay to first is a little tardy, but the right play by Casas. He practices that so often. That was right on the money, and there's 1 down.
That is not an easy throw for Casas to make right there. He fields the ball, but the runner is right in line with Story, but he throws it with a ton of confidence. And you're right in the money, Will. We see him practice that throw over and over and over again in pregame.
So now 1 on, 1 out. 2-0 Nationals. Here's Lane Thomas with Paxton out of the stretch. Double play depth behind him. James throws. Abrams is running the pitch. The throw from Wong is not in time. Very close. That's how fast C.J. Abrams is. I mean, he got a great jump even against the lefty Paxton. Wong, yet another great transfer and a bullet to second, but Abrams did beat the throw.
Wow, I thought he didn't have a chance, but then isn't it funny how every time you see Wong throw a ball, you're thinking he doesn't have a chance, but then you're reminded, wait, Connor Wong is throwing it?
He does have an absolutely elite throwing arm. Although by his standards, that was not his best pop time. 1-0, the pitch is a little high. That term's a little wonky. Pop time measures literally to the millisecond, the amount of time that it hits his glove until the time that it hits the infielder's glove, and that time 2.02 seconds, which is good by most mortal standards. Here's a ground ball to the left side. They got Abrams in a pickle. Great story play. He flips to Reyes at second for one. Raffy tags Abrams out between the bags, and there are 2 down. Abrams had a big secondary lead. He took a step towards third, and he was dead to rights on a beautiful read by Trevor Story.
Tough play for Abrams. If you don't make a move right back to the bag right when it's hit, you're a dead duck, and that's exactly what happened there. And great rundown. You're thinking, whoa, Abrams fast. This might be a challenge. No, perfectly executed, no problem.
Connor Wong usually is in like the 1.823 range, something like that, which is absolutely amazing. That one to second was 2.02 seconds, and I think that margin was the difference. Here now is Joey Meneses, right-handed hitter. He takes a changeup outside for ball 1. 2 down, bottom 5. Nationals leading 2-0. Paxton about to throw his 79th pitch. It comes home, and a foul ball by Meneses. He's at the plate. Keibert Ruiz is on deck. Brought to you by On Deck, America's largest online small business lender. Applied today at ondeck.com.
Do you want to continue defense of Fenway Park?
I think it's sort of unnecessary, really. I would say that, to your point about modernization, like the Red Sox have every gadget you could want now. They got great video boards all over the place, but they don't feel out of place in the way they do at Wrigley. 1-1. Like, to me, they feel like bolted on in a way to an old yard. 1-1. The pitch is swung on a miss. They obscure some of the rooftops, which were wonderful features. Be like if they put a big video board on the Green Monster in a lot of ways. But again, I adore Wrigley. I think our place is a little better, and to reject the notion that they belong in the same conversation. Please. 1-2 misses high, and it's 2-2.
Yes, and to reject the notion why rejecting another opportunity to take a selfie with me is two bad things.
I'm not sure I've ever watched a Bill Murray movie that didn't make me laugh.
I love Bill Murray.
Out loud. He threw to first, and that was a little wild there by Paxton. It's very hard for me to rank them even. I mean, Caddyshack, Ghostbusters, Groundhog Day. I mean, in these serious roles later in his life, he's been brilliant, like Lost in Translation and many others. 2-2 to Joey Meneses, 2-0 Nats in the 5th. Pitch is skied into right field. This ball hit well. Verdugo, though, drifting back to his left, makes the play, and the inning is over. 2-0 Nationals lead after 5 on the Shaws and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
When you drive the most dependable mass market brand, you can stop thinking about what you can't do and start doing what you never thought possible. Visit your local Kia dealer today to see yourself behind the wheel of the #1 most dependable mass market brand 3 years in a row by J.D. Power. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-334-KIA for details. Always drive safely. Kia received the fewest reported problems among mass market brands in the J.D. Power 2021 to 2023 U.S. Vehicle Dependability Studies. 2023 study based on 2020 models. See jdpower.com/awards for 2023 details.
When picking a commerce platform, you have 2 choices.
Oh, you piece of...
Or...
Yeah!
That's the sound of selling on Shopify, the commerce platform that supercharges your selling online and in person. Why battle inferior platforms' weak tools
You...
and limited integrations
would have help to know this.
Join the millions of businesses growing on Shopify and ignite your selling.
Less, more.
Start your free trial today at shopify.com/Odyssey free. Shopify.com/Odyssey free.
Moving day means that you and the things that matter to you are in for a big transition. There's a lot to figure out. New closets, different counter space, change of floor plan. No worries. CubeSmart is here, so you have a place for everything. It's our job to make self-storage as easy as possible. Online or in person, this is a self-storage experience that puts the focus on you because you matter to us. With self-storage that fits seamlessly into your life, you'll have plenty of peace of mind to unpack along the way. Click now to find a self-storage solution near you.
More Boston sports opinion, more often. Just download the Odyssey app. Now, back to Red Sox baseball on WEEI.
To the sixth inning we go. 2-0 Nationals. Tristan Casas, then Connor Wong, and Rob Refsnyder to bat. For the Red Sox, trying to get something going against Mackenzie Gore, who's been fantastic. In fact, Casas had one of the great at-bats against him, certainly one of the best the Red Sox have had all night. Lined out sharply to left. Here he takes a strike on the outside corner. 89-mile-an-hour slider, and it's 0-1. Casas begins the Herb Chambers batting order, brought to you by Herb Chambers Sprinter Vans of Boston and Peabody. Here's the 0-1, and it is fouled at his feet. 0-2.
Well, I also had, I checked off another thing on my list of things to do in my life. I have often told, including in the critically acclaimed book, A Damn Near Perfect Game with co-author Joe Kelly, the story about Joe at the draft when he had his 21st birthday the same day that the draft was going on. And there's a Nationals player who was involved in this.
0-2 is outside.
So Joe has a party for his 21st birthday and the draft. Well, the 21st birthday takes priority. So by the time the second round comes around, the Angels, the team 5 minutes from his house, they call, say, how much will it take to sign you, Joe?
Says $10 million. Here's the 1-2 to Casas. He swings and misses at a slider, and there's one away.
So he says something along those lines. Maybe it may have been $1 billion. I don't know what it was, but the 21st birthday had clearly taken over. And so he hangs up the phone. They don't draft him, and they draft Patrick Corbin. The guy who's pitching tomorrow. Joe gets drafted the next round, loses $100,000. As he said, blame it on the Jägermeister.
Here's Connor Wong with one down. The pitch to him is another strike. This has been a clinic for Mackenzie Gore.
So I finally was able to tell Patrick Corbin to his face this story and say, you realize why you were drafted.
Yeah.
And he told me that day was his dad's birthday. Man, circle of life, Will.
Oh, baby. The 0-1 to Wong misses a little high. 1-1. Sometimes I wonder, Rob. Not a lot of the time I wonder.
It's a great story.
Corbin, who was the World Series Game 7 hero for the Nats in 2019, has been a disaster since then. 1-1. The pitch to Wong is a strike on the outside corner. Meanwhile, Steven Strasburg basically can't move his right arm.
Oh.
I mean,
brutal.
They're hoping they can get some of the money back through like mediation for that massive contract they signed. It frankly is quite remarkable they are doing as well as they are being saddled with those deals.
Like you said, Patrick Corbin was supposed to be the workhorse, the ace of this staff.
1-2 pitch. Long takes down in the dirt. Only 67 pitches thrown for Mackenzie Gore. It's been efficient, and it has been dominant tonight. 2-2 to Wong, trying to get something started with the leadoff man, Rob Refsnyder, out on deck. Gore throws, and Wong takes outside 3-2. For every Red Sox double, we're going to donate $50 to the American Diabetes Association, brought to you in part by the Massachusetts Health Connector. Place to go if you need health insurance. Go to mahealthconnector.org to stay in the game and get covered. Here's the 3-2, and Wong loops one foul. Speaking of the Bay State and the elevator up to the ball game today, one of our fine senators, Ed Markey, was riding up. And he could not possibly be a more pleasant gentleman.
Did you ask to take a selfie with him?
I did not.
I was just testing you.
Nor did I ask his opinions on Wrigley. 3-2 to Connor Wong. Pitch is just inside. Great take by Wong. The Red Sox will absolutely celebrate that. That is a rarity tonight. Just their second base runner. And Wong is aboard with one down for Rob Refsnyder.
Well, along those lines, it's interesting. Much like when you go to L.A. and almost every waiter or waitress is a potential actor. Well, we went out last night after the broadcast, after the game. A lot of the writers, Jemai Webster, Ian Brown, the whole crew. And our waitress works on Capitol Hill. Yeah. Went to USC, works on Capitol Hill for Cory Booker. And it seems like everybody you can almost guess. If you're working here, you're young and you've gone to a good school, you'd probably work on Capitol Hill as well.
No, there's no question about that. It is a transient town in that way. It cycles through whether 2-year or 4-year or 6-year terms. Here's Refsnyder with one on and one out. The pitch to him is a double play ball right at Abrams. To second for one, relay to first from Chavis. Plenty of time, and the Red Sox have absolutely nothing going offensively tonight in the nation's capital. 2-0 Nats after 5.5 from the Shaws and Star Market, WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
When you drive the most dependable mass market brand, you can stop thinking about what you can't do and start doing what you never thought possible. Visit your local Kia dealer today to see yourself behind the wheel of the #1 most dependable mass market brand 3 years in a row by J.D. Power. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-334-KIA for details. Always drive safely. Kia received the fewest reported problems among mass market brands in the J.D. Power 2021 to 2023 U.S. Vehicle Dependability Studies. 2023 study based on 2020 models. See jdpower.com/awards for 2023 details.
Summer is a great time to get your yearly checkup. I'm Dr. Christopher Adiano from Neighborhood Health Plan of Rhode Island, reminding you to schedule checkups for everyone in your family to help you stay healthy. Your doctor will answer any questions and make sure everyone is up to date on screenings and vaccines.
With Neighborhood, you can get high-quality, affordable health insurance for you and your family. To learn how to join, call 1-401-459-6075. At Neighborhood, we're here for you.
Sail away on the Black Island Ferry. Take a trip back to carefree times. Leave today, Black Island awaits you. Just leave your troubles behind.
Your Block Island getaway starts as soon as you board. Enjoy the ride and some fresh ocean air on our traditional or high-speed ferries from Point Judith. Visit blockislandferry.com or call 866-783-7996 for more information.
This is Matt Spiegel of 670 The Score in Chicago, and my podcast, The PBP, Voices of Baseball, is all about the art and craft of play-by-play. Catch up on episodes with Joe Davis, Joe Buck, and many more. Then something crazy happened along the way. I did a weekend of Cubs-Cardinals on the radio, so now conversations are enriched with feedback and advice from Jason Benetti, Boog Shambi, and others to come. The PBP, Voices of Baseball. I bring you the people who bring you the game. Listen on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Ask your smart speaker to play 93.7 WEEI. Now back to Red Sox baseball on WEEI.
Frustrating night offensively for the Red Sox. It's been the Mackenzie Gore show thus far. 2-0 DC. Into the bottom of the sixth we go. Keibert Ruiz batting right against Paxton, who throws, and Keibert pops up the first pitch into shallow center field. Pablo Reyes from second base is there to make the play in front of Duvall. And on one pitch, Paxton's 83rd. There's one away on the Subaru New England scoreboard. Not great news so far tonight. The Mariners already lead 3-1 in Kansas City in the top of the second inning. And with Kevin Gossman on the mound, in spite of a Bryce Harper game-tying home run, the Blue Jays lead the Phillies 4-2. Sox need to turn this one around to avoid falling 4 games out of a wild card. As a pitch to Stone Garrett is a strike on the outside corner.
With Paxton, I wouldn't say 2 bad pitches, but really only 1 bad pitch. The Stone Garrett home run wasn't a bad pitch.
No, 0-1 is a shot on the ground to short. Story has it. Kind of snow cones out of his glove, but he holds on and throws to first. 3 pitches, 2 outs. He's been so smooth, has Trevor. And now the third man in the Herb Chambers batting order, Dominic Smith. This copyrighted broadcast presented by authority of the Red Sox may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of EEI and the Red Sox. Here's Dominic Smith, who's twice grounded out. 2 down, bases empty as Paxton fires. Right on the outside corner, strike one. Cut fastball from James. Red Sox with only 1 hit. It came off the bat of Justin Turner. As Smith checks a swing and a pitch in the dirt with 1 out in the 4th inning. The problem for the Red Sox is they not only don't have anything going, but they've not made Gore work at all. He's got a chance to go the distance in this game. 1-1, the pitch. That is a strike on the outside corner. What a reversal for him. Last time out, Gore allowed 3 homers and 6 runs over 5 innings in Philadelphia a week ago. As time is called by the hitter Dom Smith.
And as Cass has told me before the game, they went into yesterday knowing the strategy was make Gray work up the pitch count. They did a masterful job of it. Not tonight.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Pitch is a little bit outside. One of the remarkable post logs of the game last night is the number of pitches thrown by Josiah Gray compared to the bullpen. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Paxton throws, and Dom Smith fouls it outside the first base line. Smith is twice grounded out. Last night, Josiah Gray, in 3 innings, threw 83 pitches, which is more than the rest of the Nationals bullpen combined for the game's final 6 innings. They were impressive. 2-2. Here it is. And it's fouled off on the third base side.
And boy, those first 3 innings felt like 83 pitches. It's amazing. We talk about time of game and how much quicker it is. That last night was another example that game felt like it was going to be 8 hours long. It still lands at 3.
2-2. On the ground to the right side. Pablo Reyes from second base to his left has it. He throws to first in time, and the inning is over. 1-2-3 for Paxton. We go to the 7th inning for the Red Sox, trailing 2-0 to be Turner, Devers, and Story on the Shaws and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
RIPTA's R-Line fare-free pilot is coming to an end on September 30th. Starting October 1st, passengers must pay full fare on all RIPTA R-Line buses. Pay your RIPTA fare with Wave or $2 cash. For details, visit RIPTA.com.
When you drive the most dependable mass market brand, you can stop thinking about what you can't do and start doing what you never thought possible. Visit your local Kia dealer today to see yourself behind the wheel of the #1 most dependable mass market brand 3 years in a row by J.D. Power. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-333-4KIA for details. Always drive safely. Kia received the fewest reported problems among mass market brands in the J.D. Power 2021 to 2023 U.S. Vehicle Dependability Studies. 2023 study based on 2020 models. See jdpower.com/awards for 2023 details.
The second half of the baseball season is here, and each game means a little bit more. We're talking pennant races and wild card chases, with each pitch bringing us closer to the playoffs. The free Odyssey app lets you listen to live play-by-play of your local team. So no matter what you're up to, you'll never have to miss another game. Download the free Odyssey app today and keep baseball close by all summer long. That's AUDACY. Odyssey.
The Greg Hill Show, weekdays, 5:30 to 10.
Now back to the Shaws and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
As we move to the 7th inning, the Red Sox have 1 hit. It belongs to this man, Justin Turner, who leads it off. Turner, Devers, and Story against Mackenzie Gore. They've just been absolutely dominant so far tonight. I think it's John Schreiber who's up and warming in the Red Sox bullpen. 2-0 Nats. Southpaw Gore into his wind. His 72nd pitch to Turner is a strike on the outside corner. It is not an exaggeration to say this is the single most impressive start the Red Sox have seen all year. And they've seen some really good arms. The 0-1 is a little bit outside. I mean, they've got wins over some of the great pitchers in the game. Guys like Wheeler and Gossman and Cole and some of the Mariners starters. But this kid, Mackenzie Gore, has been unreal tonight. 1-1 to Turner. The pitch. That's low and outside, a fastball. And it's 2-1. Nats are going to protect this young arm. They're going to really dial his workload back down the stretch. But this has been stress-free for him tonight. 2-1. The pitch is line foul down the right field line, and it's 2-2.
Well, as you said, all these games matter so much, and you just reminded in moments like this, you're down 2-0 heading the 7th inning. Blue Jays are winning, and the difference between 3 and 4 games back is huge.
2-2. Turner swings and fouls it between the feet of Ruiz. He stays alive. That's on the Subaru of New England scoreboard. Make the most of a summer in a brand new 2023 Subaru. Details at SubaruofNewEngland.com. Well, these are the guys to do it right here. One thing that the Red Sox don't want is to face Kyle Finnegan, the utterly dominant Nats closer. And they're in danger of doing exactly that. 2-2 to Turner. Here's the pitch. And it is low. Another good take and a curveball in the dirt. Checks his swing, and it's 3-2.
You look at what Gore's been doing. So many fastballs. 61% of the time he's throwing fastballs, with a slider the 19%, curveball 12%, but a lot of fastballs. And he's getting a lot of swings and misses. 12 whiffs so far.
Sort of like the opposite of Gray last night.
Yeah.
3-2 to Turner. Trying to trigger a rally here in Ruiz, and Gore on the different page for the first time in a long time. K. Barrett goes to the mound. For every 4-bagger the Red Sox hit this season, the Red Sox Radio Network donate $40 to Cars for Kids. Making our donation, you should too. 877 Cars for Kids, or go to carsforkids.com. It feels sort of essential for Turner to get on base here. He's worked the count full, which he so often does. Gore is ready. Brings the hands together at the belt, and the 3-2 pitch is fouled off. Curveball, that's interesting. After the meeting on the mound in a 3-2 count, that shows you something about a young pitcher, and frankly, a young catcher too. That's 3 straight curveballs after 4 straight fastballs began the at-bat. Let's see what he goes with here. 3-2 with Devers out on deck. Here's the pitch. Turner takes ball 4. Great plate appearance. A fastball up and in, and he is aboard with a leadoff walk.
That was a very important plate appearance and a great one, as you said. Got to get that lead guy on, put some pressure, make him feel a little unsettled, because he's just been cruising. That's the thing, Will. When you have this sort of pitch clock, it can work both ways, right? If you're in a bad rut, you can't slow down, you can't collect yourself. But if you're in a good spot, I've seen this multiple times this year, like Mackenzie Gore is, you're just rolling.
He also has only been in the stretch for 3 hitters all night. He'll be there after this meeting from the pitching coach, Jim Hickey. Jordan Weems is up in the bullpen, and he did something that I literally have almost never seen, and that is he threw his first warm-up pitches, about 10 of them, without a hat on. Of course, if I had his hair, I might want to show it off too. Here is Devers in a key spot. He's fouled out and grounded out to third. As the tying run, he stands in the top of the 7th. 2-0 Nets. Gore comes to his belt. He throws, and Devers swings and misses at a slider. And he was trying to tie the game right there. It's 0-1.
I don't know why we're always surprised by that swing, but it's always so delicious watching him just unload.
He has had some fabulous moments in this ballpark. 0-1. Pitch is outside. What an incredible effort on the final day of the 2021 season with really one healthy arm. He went 4 for 5 with 2 homers, including the one that essentially clinched the ballgame and sent the Red Sox to the playoffs. That's one of the many things that convinced the Red Sox this is the man they wanted to invest in. Knack for the huge spot. He's in one here, 1-1. The pitch is outside, a slider, and it's 2-1. And for Raffy, in some ways, it's counterintuitive because he is pitched so carefully too, and oftentimes it's a great strategy to just be patient, let the people around you do damage. Trevor Story is on deck. 2-1 the pitch. Devers takes inside a fastball, and it's 3-1.
Well, I tell you what, this is also the impact of Trevor Story. Having him sit there on deck. Normally, you might pitch around Devers a little bit more than you wanted to. You can't do it. You have Story sitting there. You don't want to go first and second with Story up.
3-1 to Raffy. Turner leading at first. Here's the pitch. A swing and a hopper into second base. Chavis bobbles. He picks up, throws to second. 4-1. They do get Turner there. That thing was absolutely launched by Raffy, but into the defense, and Chavis recovers just in time to get Turner. I'm not sure they would have had a play with almost any other base runner there between first and second, but for Chavis and the Nationals, all is well that ends well. Devers found a pitch to drive. He hit it hard, but he grounds into a force out, and here now is the aforementioned Trevor Story. Right-handed hitter. He takes high and outside. This is a little bit different from Mackenzie Gore. He has been so outstanding all night long, but this is the first real sign of command issues, and they think maybe something's wrong with him on the mound now. I mean, Davey Martinez and a member of the training staff is going to come out and check on this prized young left-hander. And based on what we said all night long, Rob, about how they're going to protect him, they're going to manage his workload, I would be almost surprised if they allowed him to stay in the game here.
I would be shocked. I'm not sure what's going on. They have someone warming up in a hurry out in the bullpen. That trainer that you talked about, Paul Lessard, former Red Sox trainer. Great guy.
So Turner retired, and there we go. They're making the decision to take him out of this game. And we haven't seen a replay of any kind of a follow-through or looking at any part of his body. But you can certainly understand the Nationals taking it especially easy with this left-hander, who tonight was absolutely fantastic. So they're going to go to Jordan Weems. In theory, he's got unlimited time to get ready, but you wouldn't think that it would take that long, since he's been throwing in the bullpen for the bulk of this here inning. Red Sox have the tying run at the plate in the form of Trevor Story, but Weems, who's had a brilliant season, is coming on with one out in the top of the seventh. 2-0 Nationals will return to Nats Park right after this in the Shaws and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
During this call to the bullpen, it's the perfect time to check out all the great content at buyfordnow.com. Find Ford offers you won't see advertised anywhere else. Search Ford dealer inventory for your dream vehicle. Compare Ford SUVs, trucks, and electric vehicles versus the competition. Calculate your trade-in value and learn about exclusive offers for military and first responders. So, visit buyfordnow.com and then see your New England Ford dealers.
Arbella Insurance is the presenting sponsor of the Jimmy Fund Radio Telethon. We've been proudly supporting Dana Farber and the Jimmy Fund and its mission to provide life-saving cancer care, research, education, and prevention for over 15 years. Donate $50 or more to the Jimmy Fund, and you could save 6% off your car insurance with Arbella. Find a local independent agent at arbella.com. Arbella, here for the Jimmy Fund. Here for good.
Jordan Weems is on, fresh off a visit with Rob Bradford yesterday. He was outstanding, was Weems, in the 8th inning yesterday. Allowed one hit to Tristan Casas, but struck out a pair. And he relieves Mackenzie Gore. Some of the writers who are here have seen a replay, and apparently Gore, after that last pitch to Raffy Devers, was seen wincing on the mound. So you hope it's nothing serious for him. One down in the 7th as Weems comes on to face Trevor Story, with the Nationals leading at 2-0.
Well, again, what a day for Jordan Weems yesterday. First, he does an outstanding podcast, and the Baseball Isn't Boring podcast, and then follows it up with an outstanding performance, throwing 99 with a wipeout changeup. Of course, his story is drafted by the Red Sox, 2011 draft, third round as a catcher. A couple of years later, it's not working out for him as a catcher. They say Ben Crockett gives him a call, said, hey, you know what? We want you to pitch. Well, he had never pitched other than in Little League. If you now flash forward 12 years later, or 11 years later, and all of a sudden you've got one of the best relievers in the National League.
No doubt about it. 32 appearance. And he has just been brilliant. A 2.41 ERA. Fastball, slider combo primarily. He'll mix in an occasional changeup. Will Weems. So here's Trevor Story, who was 0 for 2 against Gore. It is not an exaggeration to say Mackenzie Gore, one of the great starts of the season against the Red Sox. Want to know the pitch to Trevor's outside with a slider, and that's ball one. Stay tuned after the game for the Nissan post-game show. Save on the action-packed Nissan lineup today. Nissan Thrill of the Drive sales event. Double play depth behind Weems. Raffy at first. The pitch is a soft ground ball to the left side of the mound. Abrams flips to second for one. Relay to first is in time. A double play. That was a spectacular turn by Abrams and Chavis, who got rid of it quickly and fired a bullet to first. And the inning quickly comes to a close. More great stuff from Jordan Weems, and the Red Sox frustrations continue. To the stretch in D.C., 2-0 Nats in the Shaw's and Star Market, WEEI, Red Sox Radio Network.
When you drive the most dependable mass market brand, you can stop thinking about what you can't do and start doing what you never thought possible. Visit your local Kia dealer today to see yourself behind the wheel of the #1 most dependable mass market brand 3 years in a row by J.D. Power. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-334-KIA for details. Always drive safely. Kia received the fewest reported problems among mass market brands in the J.D. Power 2021 to 2023 U.S. Vehicle Dependability Studies. 2023 study based on 2020 models. See jdpower.com/awards for 2023 details.
Summer is a great time to get your yearly checkup. I'm Dr. Christopher Adiano from Neighborhood Health Plan of Rhode Island, reminding you to schedule checkups for everyone in your family to help you stay healthy. Your doctor will answer any questions and make sure everyone is up to date on screenings and vaccines.
With Neighborhood, you can get high-quality, affordable health insurance for you and your family. To learn how to join, call 1-401-459-6075. At Neighborhood, we're here for you.
RIPTA's R-Line fare-free pilot is coming to an end on September 30th. Starting October 1st, passengers must pay full fare on all RIPTA R-Line buses. Pay your RIPTA fare with Wave or $2 cash. For details, visit RIPTA.com.
Sail away on the Black Island Ferry. Take a trip back to carefree times. Leave today, Black Island awaits you. Just leave your troubles behind.
Your Block Island getaway starts as soon as you board. Enjoy the ride and some fresh ocean air on our traditional or high-speed ferries from Point Judith. Visit blockislandferry.com or call 866-783-7996 for more information.
New England. It's time to get out there in a built Ford tough truck, and it starts at your New England Ford dealer's Discover Summer Sales Event. From the detail-oriented F-150 to the all-new Super Duty, there's no surprise why F-Series, America's best-selling trucks 46 years straight, are the best way to make this summer one for the books. With your New England Ford dealers stocked with fresh inventory, now's the best time to discover summer in a Ford. Claim based on 1977 to 2022 CY total sales.
Arbella Insurance is the presenting sponsor of the Jimmy Fund Radio Telethon. We've been proudly supporting Dana-Farber and the Jimmy Fund and its mission to provide life-saving cancer care, research, education, and prevention for over 15 years. Donate $50 or more to the Jimmy Fund, and you could save 6% off your car insurance with Arbella. Find a local independent agent at arbella.com. Arbella, here for the Jimmy Fund. Here for good.
Genie here from the hit musical Aladdin with a handy checklist for all your summer party needs. Music? Done. Dancing? Fireworks? Yep. Well, we've got all these things and more because Aladdin is Broadway's biggest party. I mean, where else can you experience show-stopping songs, huge laughs, a flying magic carpet, and the life of the party, me? So grab the gang and come see us. For tickets, visit AladdinTheMusical.com today. Oh, dress code fabulous.
Well, a protracted but brilliant version of God Bless America just comes to a close as John Schreiber takes the mound for the Red Sox, trailing 2-0 in the nation's capital. 2-0 Nats leading the Red Sox. It's been a totally dominant performance on the mound by Mackenzie Gore for 6 1/3, and then Jordan Weems got out of a little mini jam to end the top of the 7th. You have to say that in this city, more than most, the national anthem, God Bless America, they hit a little bit differently. And that was just a spectacular job done by a member of the Marine Corps band. To the 7th we go. Here's John Schreiber. He'll see Ildemaro Vargas, Michael Chavis, and Alex Call in the Herb Chambers batting order. Still no word on what was ailing Mackenzie Gore, but that was just an absolutely spectacular appearance on the mound for the Nats left-hander.
Absolutely. As you said, Will, one of the better performances that we've seen against the Red Sox all year, and it's just such a unsettling image of him coming off the mound. We knew that they were probably going to start drawing back on this kid anyway with a pitch limit. Hopefully he's okay, and this isn't any sort of arm issues at all. We've seen so many good young pitchers, starting with Shane McClanahan, just get derailed because of an arm injury, and you don't want to see this kid's going to be a star, I think, in this league.
James Paxton pitched really well. 6 innings, only 5 hits with 2 runs allowed. Paxton struck out 3 and walked only 1. Plenty good enough to be in line for a win, but again, the story of this one has been Mackenzie Gore's Take on Me. Takes us into the bottom of the 7th. That's a tradition here in D.C. Is Schreiber, who came on into the game last night, pitched a fantastic 6th inning, is on now in the bottom of the 7th. Here's Ildemaro Vargas, and he takes a strike on the outside corner. It's a subtle thing, Rob, but the return of Garrett Whitlock allows Alex Cora to do things like this, where he's trailing in a game by 2, and he brings in someone like Schreiber. The 0-1 is line foul down the left field side. That would not have happened even a week ago, backing up Schreiber consecutively, and oh no.
Yeah,
Schreiber landed awkwardly, and here comes Alex Cora with a member of the training staff, and Schreiber, this is apparently a lower body situation. He's kind of limping around the backside of the mound.
Yeah, when he landed, he slipped and went to one knee, and then took a little bit to get up. Now, as you said, walking around the mound.
The in-booth feed here drives me totally nuts. We never see replays. I would love to watch the repeat edition of that landing from John Schreiber. It's essentially like the video board feed.
It's a bad combination, because if there's ever a booth that you need a replay, it's this one. We're so high up.
I can't scan through and see the views of the bullpen.
That's good. We can confirm people are milling about.
John Schreiber is going up and down on his toes.
Yeah, I don't know if it's an ankle or a calf.
John Yoakum, Alex Cora out there talking to him. And now the grounds crew here is going to come out and do some work on the landing spot on the front of the mound with the tamper and the clay to make it a little bit steadier for John Schreiber. He must have indicated to them that the landing spot is like a big pit and a hole in which he kind of fell and rolled his ankle.
And you know, Will, you've been around pitchers long enough. When you have a bad mound, that gets in their head.
I can't see a replay, but I can see the Game Show Network for what that's worth.
What movie you got on there?
Appears that they are ready to at least watch Schreiber offer a practice pitch here. He settles into the rubber. The Challenger USA as Schreiber's ready to go. Pitch is a little bit outside. See if we get some reruns of The Bachelor. That one looked okay for Schreiber. No ill effects, it didn't look like. And he nods his head, and I think he has done enough to convince John Yoakum and Alex Cora that he can stay in this game. When you're on the moon, you probably need a video feed that shows you the game.
You skip right past match game. What are you doing?
0-2 to Ildemaro Vargas. 2-0 Nats in the bottom of the 7th inning. Schreiber throws, and Vargas lines one into left field. That is a base hit. You wonder whether the delay kind of bothered Schreiber there. With, again, the way that the Nats offense, the Red Sox offense, I should say, has gone tonight. the dominant relievers waiting in the bullpen. And it feels like it's imperative that Schreiber keeps the game right here.
Right there, Schreiber just reared back, threw as hard as he could on the outside edge, and you just had a case where Vargas did a good job of going with the pitch.
Here's Michael Chavis, who's homered tonight. He swings and misses, tried to do it again, a sinker up and in. And it's 0-1. Also smells like something's burning inside Nats Park.
If there's a place you don't want to be with something burning, it's Press Prox.
You got that right. We didn't bring our parachutes. The 0-1 to Chavis is a strike on the outside corner, and it's 0-2. The Capitol Dome off in the distance, literally from where we sit, directly above the left field foul pole. Pitch black skies overhead here in D.C. 0-2. Slider off the end of the bat. Schreiber gloves. He spins, throws to second for one. And Story will not make the relay to first. Even the landing on that throw to second looked a little uncomfortable for Schreiber, but they get the lead runner. So there's one down. Here comes Alex Call. I mean, it currently smells like the Bradfo kitchen when you fire up your toast on a Sunday morning.
I mean, maybe they're making more ribs because they know how much I enjoyed it. I don't know.
Either that or like when you leave a marshmallow too close to the fire when you're making s'mores.
That's a better smell than what we're smelling now, I guarantee you.
Here's Alex Call. He bluffs a bunt at a pitch that is a slider that is called a strike, and it's 0-1. 1 on, 1 out, 2-0 Nats here in the bottom of the 7th. Big decisions coming in the offseason for the Washington Nationals. Their ownership group, Ted Lerner and his sons, put the team up for sale last year. The 0-1 misses outside. Ted passed away this offseason. It's now run by his sons, and folks are trying to kind of read the tea leaves as to whether or not they want to follow through and still sell the team. At issue, in large part, the television dispute, what they've got going with the Baltimore Orioles and the Masson Network. The 1-1 is a strike on the outside corner, and it's 1-2.
I feel like it was an omen that when you were flipping through trying to find the replay, the Poseidon Adventure came on. Towering Inferno.
2 strikes the pitch. He is a little bit high. I mean, legitimately, it's about as valuable to watch the Game Show Network as the feed they have. You can get a beautiful view of the video board and all the numbers. That's nice. Channel 30-141 is, who's that, Gordon Ramsay?
Yeah, cooking show.
Mm-hmm. He can throw some frying pans at people. 2-2 as Schreiber steps off. They're in, I think they're at Dodger Stadium. Gordon Ramsay and his crew. We can see that field better than this one.
We can.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Alex Call. Red Sox trailing the Nats 2-0 in the 7th inning. Schreiber peeks over his left shoulder over at first where Chavis leads. Passes a step off the bag, and here's a high drive into left center field. It will hang up for Refsnyder and Duvall, and Adam is there to make the play. Chavis tagging at first base. That was a little unnecessary. The catch is made in center field, and now they're 2 down.
Well, we might not be able to see the field, and the stadium might be burning. Let me just tell you, the hotel we're in has the best water pressure of all time.
A lot of our listeners really love it when you talk hotels, Rob.
I'm complimenting it. The best water pressure of all time.
Here's the pitch to C.J. Abrams. It's swung on a miss. Good slider, and it's 0-1. That's like your number one criterion.
I think so. I mean, it isn't yours?
No, beds.
Okay. That's a great poll question for the Direct Diesel question of the day.
Which we owed the results of. What a segue by you. Would you rather have Verdugo or Refsnyder in the leadoff spot against lefties? We'll pull up the results of that question here in just a moment. 0-1. The pitch to C.J. Abrams is fouled off. Back to the screen, and it's 0-2. What I would imagine that most people will say Refsnyder. They do. 61% have said that Rob is their choice for the leadoff spot with a left-hander on the mound.
Still pretty good, pretty close. Good poll.
0-2. Infield backed up. The pitch is back to Schreiber. He picks it off the first top, flips underhand to first, and the inning is over. Red Sox got to get the offense going. They trail 2-0. Duvall, Verdugo, and Reyes. Jordan Weems is going to stay in the game for the Nats in the Shaws and Star Market. WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
When you drive the most dependable mass market brand, you can stop thinking about what you can't do and start doing what you never thought possible. Visit your local Kia dealer today to see yourself behind the wheel of the #1 most dependable mass market brand 3 years in a row by J.D. Power. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-334-KIA for details. Always drive safely. Kia received the fewest reported problems among mass market brands in the J.D. Power 2021 to 2023 U.S. Vehicle Dependability Studies. 2023 study based on 2020 models. See jdpower.com/awards for 2023 details.
Summer is a great time to get your yearly checkup. I'm Dr. Christopher Adiano from Neighborhood Health Plan of Rhode Island, reminding you to schedule checkups for everyone in your family to help you stay healthy. Your doctor will answer any questions and make sure everyone is up to date on screenings and vaccines.
With Neighborhood, you can get high-quality, affordable health insurance for you and your family. To learn how to join, call 1-401-459-6075. At Neighborhood, we're here for you.
El programa piloto de tarifa gratuita para la airline de Ripta finaliza el 30 de octubre. A partir del 1 de octubre, los pasajeros deben pagar la tarifa completa en todos los autobuses de la airline de la Autoridad de Transporte Público de Rhode Island. Pague su tarifa Ripta con una tarjeta inteligente Wave, la aplicación móvil Wave o con $2 en efectivo. El 1 de octubre tenga lista su tarifa de autobús cuando aborde la airline. Para obtener más información visite ripta.com. Gracias por abordar Ripta.
Jones and Mego, weekdays 2 to 6.
Now back to the Shaws and Star Market, WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
To the 8th inning we go, and the Red Sox are going to go to Masataka Yoshida against Jordan Weems. Masa will pinch hit here. The Red Sox have had nothing going offensively, and they will turn to Yoshida against Weems. Beginning the Herb Chambers batting order, brought to you by Herb Chambers, Lexus of Sharon and Lexus of Hingham. So Duvall begins the day as the center fielder. He finishes 0 for 2 with a strikeout. And here's Yoshida. Rob, this was about the only situation in which Alex Cora was going to use Yoshida, trying to really give him a break from time on his feet. He faces Weems to begin the 8th. The pitch to him is a strike with a fastball, and it's 0-1. Sox did their due diligence in the offseason with Yoshida, and the people in Japan kept telling them to monitor his legs. The 0-1 is a fastball that bounces in front of the plate, and it's 1-1. And essentially, if and when Masataka starts rolling over on ground balls, softly hit to the right side of the infield, it's time to give him a break. And that's what the Red Sox have tried to do this week, but trailing 2-0 here in the 8th, they go to him. To lead off, Weems nods yes to Ruiz. With Verdugo on deck, the pitch is way outside of fastball, and it's 2-1.
It really has been so fascinating watching Yoshida. It just does seem that if he gets a little rest, he's a different player.
I'm flipping away from the Game Show Network back to the video board field. 2-1 is skied into left center field. A long run back for call. It will hold up in front of the warning track in the Red Sox bullpen, and the Nationals center fielder is there to make the play. He gave it a ride, but for whatever reason, the left-handed hitters for the Red Sox tonight have just not carried the ball to that part of the yard. So Yoshida is gone. There's one down. And here comes Alex Verdugo. As we said over and over last night, big dramatic swings in this ballpark. And he bats with one down in the 8th. Weems throws, and Verdugo loops one into center field. That is a base hit. He delivers only the second hit of the night for the Red Sox, and that'll bring the tying run to the plate in Pablo Reyes.
Well, they have a lefty warming up, and you've got to imagine that's for Casas, who's coming up after Reyes.
And the lefty we saw last night, Ferrer, he'd right after the game at Fenway take the free Fenway shuttle to Encore Boston Harbor. Pickup located on David Ortiz Drive across from Gate A. For more info, visit encorebostonharbor.com/Fenway shuttle. Here's Pablo, and he takes low fastball, and it's 1-0. Say what you will about Alex Verdugo, Rob, the man elevates in the big spot. He allows the Red Sox here to bring the tying run to the plate. This is one of those situations because there was a lefty on the mound. You kind of flip Reyes and Casas. The 1-0 is a bluffed bunt. It's outside. with a slider, and it's 2-0.
In Verdugo, I can't say it enough how much better he looks swinging the bat. He was just so out of sorts over the last month or so, and last night you had the home run, but you also had a good sacrifice fly on a 3-0 count, and tonight a couple good swings.
2-0 to Reyes. The pitch is a strike with a slider on the outside corner, and it's 2-1. Talking to Luis Ortiz, the Red Sox assistant hitting coach before the game today, he said Verdugo is so different. When he's slumping, his swing looks the same at the plate, and there's very little mechanical work that they do on the side. 2-1 to Pablo Reyes. Alex leading at first. The pitch is crushed deep to left field. It is way back. It is gone! Are you kidding me? Pablo Reyes, a lightning bolt into the Red Sox bullpen, and we are tied at 2.
Man, is there anything Pablo Reyes can't do? Doesn't seem that way in the last week or so. 96 miles an hour, right down the heart of the plate against one of the best relievers in the National League of late, and just tears into it over the left field wall.
I mean, absolute, no doubt about it blast, and that will do it for Weems. This Pablo Reyes story, Rob, is getting totally out of control. A game-winning grand slam off the fist pole at Fenway Park last week. Last night he scores the game-winning run on a wild pitch, a great read, an unbelievable slide down the third base line. And now, with the Red Sox offense totally stuck in neutral, an absolute blast to tie the game in D.C.
Well, we have these moments where you say it's this player's game or that player's game, the Brandon Phillips game, the Ramil Tapia game, but the Pablo Reyes' games are starting to pile up, aren't they?
They are indeed. Over this last week, he has been absolutely spectacular. So, new ball game in the nation's capital. Ferrer, the lefty, is on to face Tristan Casas. It's the Pablo Reyes Show, tied at 2 in D.C. Back for more after this on the Shaws and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
During this call to the bullpen, it's the perfect time to check out all the great content at buyfordnow.com. Find Ford offers you won't see advertised anywhere else. Search Ford dealer inventory for your dream vehicle. Compare Ford SUVs, trucks, and electric vehicles versus the competition. Calculate your trade-in value and learn about exclusive offers for military and first responders. So, visit buyfordnow.com and then see your New England Ford dealers.
Arbella Insurance is the presenting sponsor of the Jimmy Fund Radio Telethon. We've been proudly supporting Dana-Farber and the Jimmy Fund and its mission to provide life-saving cancer care, research, education, and prevention for over 15 years. Donate $50 or more to the Jimmy Fund, and you could save 6% off your car insurance with Arbella. Find a local independent agent at arbella.com. Arbella, here for the Jimmy Fund. Here for good.
From the WEEI studios, 93.7 WEEI FM and HD1, Lawrence, Boston. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
This game has changed. Tristan Casas now with the Red Sox tied with the Nats at 2. We'll see the left-hander Ferrer for the second consecutive night. This is truly like fairy tale stuff for Pablo Reyes. As Casas, who has hit the ball hard tonight, but 0 for 2, stands in, and he's almost hit by a pitch from this lefty Ferrer. And that is ball 1. So it's Casas now, and then Connor Wong and Rob Refsnyder. So the Nationals get the lefty Ferrer up, thinking that he's going to face Casas with, in their estimation, probably a couple of outs, trying to protect a lead as Casas rips one up the middle into center field. That's a base hit. And now the lefty has got to see Wong and Refsnyder, who both own left-handed pitching, and now the go-ahead run is aboard in the top of the 8th.
Yeah, as we know, that lefty was solely for Tristan Casas, but worst-case scenario they thought was having 2 guys up with Casas up against the lefty. Well, Pablo Reyes took care of that, as he has been for so many days now.
I feel obligated to almost put out another little missive on Twitter as Connor Wong takes a strike on the outside corner. It is 0-1. That was I can say this definitively, Rob, the most surprising swing of the season, but in some ways it should not have been. The way that he's been going, 0-1, the pitch to Wong is swung on and missed. I mean, listen, even when he's made outs the last week, they've been loud and deep into gaps like last night in the first inning.
Well, let's not forget, Will, for a guy who doesn't hit home runs, he seems to hit home runs at pretty important times, doesn't he?
I would say so. 0-2 to Wong is swung on and missed. He's gone on 3 pitches, that time a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. And there are 2 down, but here comes Rob Refsnyder. I mean, in games like this, where you need to win to keep pace with the Mariners and then the Blue Jays, you're expecting swings like that from Devers and Verdugo and even Turner. Not Pablo Reyes, as Jim Hickey is going to come out and take his time to talk to him. And you believe the message here might be, Mr. Ferrer, we were not expecting you to face this guy. He kills lefties.
It does not seem like a great plan.
Good luck, Jose. Don't make a mistake. The Nationals now will go to their closer, Finnegan. They won't go to him, but they will get him up in the bullpen.
With all due respect to Yu Chang, I think they made the right decision when it came to figuring out who they had to sort of DFA after Trevor Story came back.
This is the stuff of legends. It is what he's doing based on where he came from in this part of the season. You just couldn't have written a script like this. Not that anyone would believe anyway. So here's Rob Refsnyder. It cost us the go-ahead run at first. 2-2 in the 8th. Thanks to King Pablo. The pitch is down and in to Refsnyder, and that's ball 1.
Well, think about this, too. At the trade deadline, the one acquisition they made was to cover themselves at second base with Luis Urias. That seems like a luxury right now.
I would say so. The 1-0 is popped up straight back of the plate into the seats. And it is 1-1. Refsnyder against Gore was 0 for 3. Flied out, struck out, and grounded into a double play on the first pitch he saw in the 6th. 2 down, 2 in. Here's the pitch. Refsnyder takes a little high. And it is a ball and a strike. Love to get Justin Turner up in this inning. And if it gets to that, they will bring Finnegan in. Here's the pitch to Rob, and it's fouled back. A 96-mile-an-hour fastball. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
He has a better Pablo Reyes has a better OPS right now with the Red Sox than he did with AAA Oakland.
The bright lights have brought out the best in Pablo. 2-2. Ferrer throws, and Refsnyder swings and misses. He is gone, and the inning is over. I think the tying swing scrambles the plan a little bit for the Red Sox in the bullpen. They got to get the big boys going out in the bullpen. We go to the bottom of the 8th, tied at 2, thanks to Pablo. On the Shaws and Star Market, WEEI, Red Sox Radio Network.
When you drive the most dependable mass market brand, you can stop thinking about what you can't do and start doing what you never thought possible. Visit your local Kia dealer today to see yourself behind the wheel of the #1 most dependable mass market brand 3 years in a row by J.D. Power. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-334-KIA for details. Always drive safely. Kia received the fewest reported problems among mass market brands in the J.D. Power 2021 to 2023 U.S. Vehicle Dependability Studies. 2023 study based on 2020 models. See jdpower.com/awards for 2023 details.
After school time can be chaotic, but it can also be a chance to keep the learning, creativity, and fun flowing. Thankfully, Dollar General is here with a winter before dinner pairing that busy parents can feel good about. Mott's and Crayola. Create fridge-worthy moments and nail snacks and creativity time with everyday savings on Mott's applesauce and juices, plus Crayola crayons, markers, and more. Nutritious snacks inside the fridge, their latest masterpiece displayed on the outside. It's after school made awesome. Find them at your DG.
Summer is a great time to get your yearly checkup. I'm Dr. Christopher Adiano from Neighborhood Health Plan of Rhode Island, reminding you to schedule checkups for everyone in your family to help you stay healthy. Your doctor will answer any questions and make sure everyone is up to date on screenings and vaccines.
With Neighborhood, you can get high-quality, affordable health insurance for you and your family. To learn how to join, call 1-401-459-6075. At Neighborhood, we're here for you.
The Rich Keefe Show, weekday afternoons starting at 6. Now back to the Shaw and Star Market, WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
Safe to say the Red Sox got a big guy on the mound here as they tied the game at 2 in the top of the 8th. In the bottom half, it is Garrett Whitlock to see the big hitters for the Nationals. Lane Thomas, Joey Meneses, and Keibert Ruiz, 2, 3, and 4. And Whitlock, having just thrown his final warm-up pitch, goes down to a knee to kind of get himself settled and ready to go here. Absolute shocker from Pablo Reyes. Want to remind you to stay tuned after the game for the Nissan post-game show. Saving the action-packed Nissan lineup today at the Nissan Thrill of the Drive sales event. It's become a little bit of a bit, something that I said about Pablo Reyes a couple weeks ago, as Garrett Whitlock fires a strike on the outside corner. I was appearing on a podcast, and I laced in a little profanity about Pablo. It took every fiber in my being when he hit that home run to not break it out right there. Here's the 0-1. It's lined into center field by Lane Thomas. And just like that, Lane Thomas is the go-ahead run leading off the bottom of the 8th.
Do we have sound effects that sort of we drop in between Pablos and Reyes? That'd be good. Yeah. By the way, that home run out in 29 of 30 parks.
Ooh, not at Fenway.
No, they said it's out of Fenway, okay, which I don't buy.
High enough.
I totally don't buy that.
That's interesting. That would have been the one I would have guessed. Is it not out at Camden?
Yes, Camden Yards.
Here's Joey Meneses just down the road from here, about 45 minutes away as the 0-1 to Meneses. I should say the first pitch is a strike right there. Sinker from Whitlock. And, you know, it's one of the age-old truisms about baseball. You got to pay off swings like that. 0-1 is swung on and missed. That was a great slider. I mean, it's a memory for sure, no matter what. We'll never forget that from Pablo Reyes, but you got to pay it off and win the ball game now. Absolutely smoked. 0-2. Pablo and Story at double play depth, pinching up the middle. The 0-2 set and pitch, and that hit him. So Whitlock makes an 0-2 mistake to Joey Meneses, and now the Nationals have 2 on with nobody out. How quickly the tenor of this one has changed.
It's very unlike Garrett Whitlock at any time. He usually has great command. That one's just like looked like a fastball that was tailing into him. Kept on tailing right onto that lead shoulder.
He is a little bit rusty. I have to say, we were so caught up in the Reyes dramatics that I didn't notice exactly when Whitlock got up and started throwing. And you wonder whether or not once the game got tied, you know, that inning ended pretty quickly thereafter, whether he had sort of his normal routine to get ready. And the fact that bullpen from here feels like it's in Woodbridge, Virginia.
Well, as you said, that you got to pay off on this. I mean, you have to come through here, get a ground ball, get the double play, get things back in order.
Yoshida stays in the game. He's in left field. Now here's Keibert Ruiz batting from the left side, and he takes a strike on the inside corner. I mean, this is their cleanup hitter, so they are not inclined to ask him to square around here. Even at home, even with 2 on and nobody out in the bottom of the 8th of a tie game. 0-1, the pitch is crushed to right center field. This thing is way back at the wall, and it is gone. Oh, how quickly the dream from Pablo becomes a nightmare against Garrett Whitlock, a 3-run homer, and it's 5-2 Nationals.
Well, this flat out, talking about surprises and things that we are not used to seeing. Those 3 batters, Garrett Whitlock, that's not what we're used to seeing from him.
So disappointing after the heroics. And now a 3-run lead with the Nats set to go to their closer, Finnegan, in the 9th inning. Ouch. So here's Stone Garrett. Pitch is outside. Sinking fastball 1-0. By the way, the Red Sox will have Turner, Devers, and Story up in the ninth inning, but they'll be trailing by at least 3 runs. That is just a stunner. 1-0 is a little outside, a slider, ball 2. And you certainly understand it from Garrett, who was dominant over 2 innings in his return from the IL through his 2 hardest pitches of the season. Here's another shot to center field. This thing is way back, and it is gone. Wow. An absolute bomb from Stone Garrett, his second of the night, to one of the deepest parts of the ballpark. The train is off the tracks for Whitlock, and it's 6-2 Nationals.
Well, you just hope Garrett Whitlock's okay, because as we've said before, when he's right, especially coming out of the bullpen, he has just been nails. But today, a lot of hard hit balls, including those last 2 home runs.
The Reyes homer feels like a distant memory now as Dominic Smith takes a pitch inside off the plate for ball 1. Man alive. For sure, the Red Sox had all the energy in this game, but it is squarely now in the first base dugout. 6-2 Nationals as Smith takes a slider down and in for ball 2.
Like I said, I mean, you just hope that Garrett Whitlock's feeling okay, because we just have not seen this from him.
Pitch is on the ground hard. What a play by Tristan Casas, lunging up to his right. He gloves and throws to the covering Whitlock on a really nasty hop. And that, at last, is how Whitlock records the first out of the 8th inning.
And Will, the velocity on the pitches is okay. It's 94 miles an hour. Actually a tick up from what he had been throwing.
Ildemaro Vargas, left-hander, takes a strike on the outside corner. That lends you to believe that he's feeling okay. Just making mistakes in the zone. Absolute stunner. 0-1. The pitch is a changeup down and in. And it's 1-1. In some ways, the life has been sucked out of this ballpark. 1-1, the pitch is fouled off. I mean, it came totally alive when Pablo Reyes lifted off, and literally, the homers from Ruiz and Garrett have taken the air out of the balloon.
I mean, Will, we're talking about a matter of 10 minutes where it ultimately changed.
Whiplash. 1-2 is grounded again to the right side. Nice backhanded play by Casas. He throws to Whitlock, a little bit behind him, but nicely done, and they're 2 down. Yeah, they're going to give the ball to Finnegan, are the Nats, to try to win this thing in the 9th inning as Michael Chavis stands in with 2 down. 4 runs in for the Nats. We'll get you the attendance, which is heavily tilted toward the Red Sox, brought to you by Citgo. Whether you're off to the ballpark, dog park, or amusement park, Citgo top-tier Tri-Clean gasoline gets you where you're going. Whether you're traveling near or far, when you start with Citgo, you're good to go. So now 2 down. Here's Chavis, who homered in the game to give the Nats a lead. He takes a slider from Whitlock outside, ball 1. I mean, in some ways, Whitlock has set an impossible standard for himself, particularly out of the bullpen. The way he burst onto the scene in 2021. The 1-0 is fouled off on the first base side. Really, you'd be hard-pressed, this is not an exaggeration, to think of a better Rule 5 draft pick ever with the contribution he made to the Boston Red Sox in that playoff run. It was not hard for them to keep him on the roster. 1-1. He is swung on and missed. Big sweeping change, and it's 1-2.
No, and that's you're just sort of expecting that every time out, and I think it's a reminder for all these guys coming back across the board for the Red Sox is that there's going to be bumps in the road. Unfortunately, they don't have a lot of room for a lot of bumps in the road.
1-2 is softly grounded foul outside the third base line.
And the next example will be Chris Sale tomorrow. This is their lot in life right now, that you have to come back. Assuming this holds up, you have to come back with a really, really good Chris Sale tomorrow.
It's Patrick Corbin. The 1-2 to Chavis is fouled off. Another slider. And it's 1-2. 6-2 Nationals. Whitlock has thrown 22 pitches. Because of that, the Sox have activity going in their bullpen. I cannot see who that is. It's a right-hander throwing for the Sox.
My guess is Mauricio Llovera.
I think you're right about that. And I think there's no doubt that either way, this is Whitlock's last hitter. Throwing 23 now, and there's just no reason to push him.
I think it's a great point by you. I would love to see how much time he had to warm up, because that spiraled quickly.
1-2 to Chavis. The pitch is in the dirt. Change up. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Leadoff hitter Thomas hit a shot into center field. Then an 0-2 pitch hit Joey Meneses. And then Keibert Ruiz just demolished the ball into the seats in right center. 2-2 is strike 3 call on the outside corner. But damage done for the Nats. 4 up in the bottom of the 8th. 6-2. They lead with 3 outs to go for the Red Sox. Top 9 next in the Shaws and Star Market. WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
When you drive the most dependable mass market brand, you can stop thinking about what you can't do and start doing what you never thought possible. Visit your local Kia dealer today to see yourself behind the wheel of the #1 most dependable mass market brand 3 years in a row by J.D. Power. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-334-KIA for details. Always drive safely. Kia received the fewest reported problems among mass market brands in the J.D. Power 2021 to 2023 U.S. Vehicle Dependability Studies. 2023 study based on 2020 models. See jdpower.com/awards for 2023 details.
Sail away on the Black Island Ferry. Take a trip back to carefree times. Leave today, Black Island awaits you. Just leave your troubles behind.
Your Block Island getaway starts as soon as you board. Enjoy the ride and some fresh ocean air on our traditional or high-speed ferries from Point Judith. Visit blockislandferry.com or call 866-783-7996 for more information.
RIPTA's R-Line fare-free pilot is coming to an end on September 30th. Starting October 1st, passengers must pay full fare on all Rhode Island Public Transit Authority R-Line buses. Pay your RIPTA fare with Wave Smart Card, Wave mobile app, or with $2 cash. On October 1st, please have your bus fare ready when boarding the R-Line. For more information, please visit RIPTA.com. Thank you for riding RIPTA.
Red Sox Review after the game on 93.7 WEEI.
Now Kyle Finnegan, the spectacular Nationals closer of late, is on to try and finish this thing up for the Nats. They lead at 6-2 as we go to the 9th inning. It'll be Justin Turner, Rafi Devers, and then Trevor Story in the Herb Chambers batting order, brought to you by Herb Chambers Mercedes-Benz of Boston, Mercedes-Benz of Natick, and flagship motor cars of Linfield. I can't remember a game in which there was a more dramatic or more quick reversal of fortune than the one we just saw. Here's Turner, who walked his last time. He's been on base 2 times tonight. That's the only hitter in the Red Sox order who can say that. Trying to start a rally here in the 9th, but Finnegan has just been fabulous for the Nats. Right-hander out of the stretch, throws, and Turner takes outside for ball 1.
You're so right about the crowd, though. I think that after Reyes hit the home run, everyone's like, okay, here we go. This is going to be exciting. There's going to be drama in the last couple of innings, and boom, 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 the drama left the building.
18 saves and 8 holds for Finnegan, who fires a strike to Justin Turner, and it's 1-1. 12 2/3 straight scoreless for Kyle Finnegan. A .68 ERA over his last 24. The 1-1 is a little outside to Turner. And it's 2-1. In fact, legitimately, fans are filing to the exits because they're Red Sox fans. 2-1. Finnegan is ready to go, and Turner swings and fouls one down the right field line. A 98-mile-an-hour fastball, and it's 2-2.
The Pablo Reyes story, this is the takeaway from tonight's game. If you want an optimistic view of things, that hasn't slowed down.
An absolute marvel. 2-2 is again fouled. Very late on a fastball there. And it stays 2-2. Jarren Duran was not in the lineup again today, nor was Masataka Yoshida because of the lefty Gore. They got Corbin tomorrow, who's not nearly as dominant. But there is stuff going on with Jarren Duran that's sort of making its way around the news. The 2-2 to Turner is a foul ball again down the right field line. Some writers have noticed that Jarren posted today on his social media feeds about intimating that he's dealing with some of the issues that he dealt with last year. And so we will follow up on that. But most of all, we really hope that Jarren's doing okay. The 2-2 is fouled straight back. I mean, he's been so open about it. He put in so much work. And I think that openness and willingness to talk about it helped him this season. And sorry to hear that he's not feeling that well right now.
And he was in the clubhouse earlier in the day.
2-2 to Turner. Eighth pitch of the at-bat comes home, and Turner grounds it on the right side. The second baseman, Chavis, gloves it. He throws to first, and Turner is gone for out number one. Without talking to him about it, I really don't want to elaborate any further than that, but I think it's worth noting that he's put it out into the world that he's feeling some of the things that he did a year ago.
I think that, and that's part of the process, right? You have to be open with it. In this case, he was open with it through social media, through Instagram, and how open he wants to be after the game or tomorrow, that's going to be up to him. But
here's Devers, 6-2 Nats, and Raffy takes a fastball splitter, rather, right down the heart of the plate, and it's 0-1. One down, top nine. Red Sox electrified this visiting ballpark with a Pablo Reyes homer in the eighth, but gave up 4 in the bottom as Devers takes a splitter outside, and it's 1-1. And shockingly, it was Garrett Whitlock on the mound. Trevor Story's out on deck. 1-1 to Raffy. Here's the pitch, and it's a little bit high with a fastball. 2-1.
One of the shames about the fact that they let the Nationals retake the lead immediately was that you did have things set up. You had the meat of the order set up. Good situation. I don't know if they would have brought Finnegan in.
2-1 is a little bit outside. I think the fact that they got him up in the eighth inning, got him hot, probably, but it's certainly a fair point in a 2-2 game. It might have been different. Although these days managers are sort of starting to realize that at home, even in a tie game, you go that way. Cora's done that with Kenley at Fenway. The 3-1 is outside, which, by the way, made it so important that Pablo Reyes hit the grand slam the other day because Kenley had pitched the top of the ninth in a tie game as Devers takes ball 4 and a one-out base runner for the Red Sox.
Once again, spinning it toward tomorrow. This is the situation that they're in. This is their lot in life. Chris Sale, you need him to be good.
Pitch to Story is a strike on the outside corner. We'll set that up on the Nissan post-game show after the game, saving the action-packed Nissan lineup today at the Nissan Thrill of the Drive sales event. Story 0 for 3 tonight. Pitch to him is fouled back. And Louis Ortiz, I told you we had that great conversation. You may have heard it on our pregame show. And one thing about Louis is he always has a way with words, both to hitters and to people like me, to describe the mechanical things that he's working on with hitters, which is one of the reasons I love talking to him. And he had something really cool to say about Trevor's Story. If you imagine in your mind's eye how Trevor strides to the baseball, he calls it his hover, where he lifts the left foot and he holds it in the air before striding out to the pitcher. Really is a distinctive move. 0-2 to him here. The pitch is outside. Louis said when Trevor is off a little bit, sometimes he's like an airplane that's trying to land on a runway that's too short, and that he, in the middle of the stride, lifts it way back up, and he finds it hard to readjust. 1-2 to Trevor's Story. Here's the pitch, and that is a soft ground ball on the left side. Story is impossible to double off, so they just throw to first to get him on that soft grounder. Devers over to second, And they're 2 down. Red Sox down to their final out here in the 9th. But I do think that's a real gift for Luis Ortiz, who is such an asset for the Red Sox with Pete Fatsi and Ben Rosenthal, their whole hitting group, to be able to simplify it and put it into sort of layman's terms.
Yeah, and there is an appetite for that, not only for us, but I think for the general public. They want to understand, instead of sort of this general terms that are being thrown out with hitters.
Here's Masataka Yoshida, the last hope for the Red Sox. He fouls the first pitch off on the third base side.
And I remember at the end of last year, J.D. Martinez had said in the last week, he told me, he said, yeah, I finally found something. I'm like, okay, well, tell me exactly what he is. And he did. It took him a little while, but still, I appreciated that.
0-1. Masataka grounds it to the right side. Should be the end of this game. Smith flips to Finnegan, touches the first base bag, and the game is over. Well, the Red Sox got an absolute heroic blast from Pablo Reyes, but it was immediately erased in the bottom of the 8th inning. Nationals beat the Red Sox 6-2, and they leveled this 3-game series at a game apiece. Sale takes the ball tomorrow in an enormous spot for the Red Sox. Totals and Nissan postgame show next on the Shaws and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
You drive the most dependable mass market. You can stop thinking about what you can't do and start doing what you never thought possible. Visit your local Kia dealer today to see yourself behind the wheel of the #1 most dependable mass market brand 3 years in a row by J.D. Power. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-334-KIA for details. Always drive safely. Kia received the fewest reported problems among mass market brands in the J.D. Power 2021 to 2023 U.S. Vehicle Dependability Studies. 2023 study based on 2020 models. See jdpower.com/awards for 2023 details.
Summer is a great time to get your yearly checkup. I'm Dr. Christopher Adiano from Neighborhood Health Plan of Rhode Island, reminding you to schedule checkups for everyone in your family to help you stay healthy. Your doctor will answer any questions and make sure everyone is up to date on screenings and vaccines.
With Neighborhood, you can get high-quality, affordable health insurance for you and your family. To learn how to join, call 1-401-459-6075. At Neighborhood, we're here for you.
RIPTA's R-Line fare-free pilot is coming to an end on September 30th. Starting October 1st, passengers must pay full fare on all Rhode Island Public Transit Authority R-Line buses. Pay your RIPTA fare with Wave Smart Card, Wave mobile app, or with $2 cash. On October 1st, please have your bus fare ready when boarding the R-Line. For more information, please visit RIPTA.com. Thank you for riding RIPTA.
Want to listen to WEEI on the go? Just download the Odyssey app. Now, back to Red Sox baseball on WEEI.
Well, a wild night in D.C. for the Red Sox. They fall to the Nationals 6-2 as we enter the Nissan postgame show, the bulk of which will be hosted by the great Joe Weil back at the flagship studios in the hub of the universe, Boston, Massachusetts. And that Nissan postgame show reminds you to save in the action-packed Nissan lineup today at the Nissan Thrill of the Drive sales event. Rob, an hour ago, I would not have thought we would have said this game had much going on because Mackenzie Gore was unbelievable for 6 1/3 innings. He was about as great as any pitcher has been all year against the Red Sox. But then, out of absolutely nowhere, Pablo Reyes continues his fairy tale season. He ties the game with an absolute bomb into the left field bullpen. 2-2, Red Sox feeling great. They bring in Garrett Whitlock. The velocity on his two-seamer was down a little bit. He gave up 2 massive home runs and 4 runs overall. And really, before you could even catch your breath, this game was flipped on its head again.
Really strange game, and it's really highlighted by, like you said, when Reyes hits the home run. Everybody in this ballpark was excited, not only because it was a momentous home run, not everybody, but the Red Sox fans who were here. And then all of a sudden, within a matter of just a few minutes, boom, 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 and you wonder, you said the velocity was down a tick, but it seemed more than that. It seemed whether it was not being able to warm up quite enough, or did they have something on Whitlock? You just didn't see that version of Whitlock really at all, and especially at the bullpen, Will. I mean, at the starter maybe, but not out of the bullpen.
And of course, that's going to be part of the process, right? Is how you bounce back after an outing. You know, you take a couple days off and you try to get back on the mound, and he just did not have it tonight. Now we will focus on a couple of the positives, and we'll start with Pablo Reyes, who, I mean, The things that he's doing right now are almost unfathomable given his career track record. He's stepping into a push for a playoff spot, and he's had the biggest swings for the team for 2 weeks now.
Well, think about this. I mean, it didn't work out today, but I'll go back to just over a week ago when he hits the game-winning grand slam. If he doesn't hit that, they're in dire straits in terms of standings. At that time, they would have been 6 back in the standings. This guy came through last night. This guy almost came through tonight in terms of leading them to a win. So, sometimes you just get these guys that have become out of nowhere so important, but they're going to need more of it, Will. They're going to need more of it from a lot more than just Pablo Reyes.
At the moment, the Red Sox are 3.5 games out of the wild card, but Seattle leads Kansas City. The Blue Jays, they led their game, but now Philadelphia has turned that game on its head. It is 8-4 Phillies, so that's some good news for the Red Sox.
Yeah.
Mariners lead the Royals 4-3. So as of this exact moment, the Red Sox are 3.5 games behind Toronto, but that would come back to them if indeed the Phillies can hold on, and that is a big result. Now, James Paxton, who pitched plenty well enough for us to be talking about him at the end of this game.
Really good, and you got to keep that going. I think you have that rotation now. Why Bayo's figuring this out, we said this before. You have Sale, you have Paxton, you have Crawford, you have these other guys to pick up the slack, because I do believe Bayo's going to rebound a little bit from what he has been recently. But Paxton, all the doubters and all the people who said this can't continue, he can't make it through an entire year, it's going to take a turn for the worse as well. Believe me, for the most part, this guy has been really, really good. And it's kept his conversation going into actually coming back next year.
And lastly, before we send it to a break and then Joe Wild for the Nissan postgame show, Chris Sale does things to this group that very few people do in terms of not just the quality of stuff, but I really believe, Rob, that when he's on the mound, and frankly when he's in the dugout and when he's in the clubhouse, he's one of these rare athletes whose mere presence alone, I think, lifts everyone around him. And they need him to do that tomorrow.
I think that certainly it felt like when the Blue Jays were winning that game, it felt like almost like a must-win game. And I hate to say that, but you got to win series. And even with the Blue Jays potentially losing tonight, you got to win series. And I think that this is the guy, if he is going to be what he was last time out, and he's going to be the guy that we saw early in the year, that's the guy you want on the mound for not only because of the results, but because what you said. There's a lot of confidence that this guy is going to be able to come through. We can't forget, Will, that Chris Sale, when he has pitched this year, has been the ace of this team. Now it's time to do ace-like things tomorrow.
He absolutely has been brilliant when healthy. It is a different start time tomorrow, 4:05 with Sale on the mound against Patrick Corbin, who has been really shaky this season for the Nationals. So tune into the pregame show tomorrow at 3:05 in the ball game, 5 minutes after 4. Dave Stipe, wonderful again at the home of the Nationals, Nats Park, and Bridget Prue, our wonderful producer, engineer at the flagship WEEI. For Rob Bradford, Will Fleming saying so long from high atop Nats Park. Red Sox fall 6-2. We'll talk to you tomorrow and decide the series on the Shaw's and Star Market, WEEI, Red Sox Radio Network.
When you drive the most dependable mass market brand, you can stop thinking about what you can't do and start doing what you never thought possible. Visit your local Kia dealer today to see yourself behind the wheel of the #1 most dependable mass market brand 3 years in a row by J.D. Power. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-334-KIA for details. Always drive safely. Kia received the fewest reported problems among mass market brands in the J.D. Power 2021 to 2023 U.S. Vehicle Dependability Studies. 2023 study based on 2020 models. See jdpower.com/awards for 2023 details.
RIPTA's R-Line fare-free pilot is coming to an end on September 30th. Starting October 1st, passengers must pay full fare on all RIPTA R-Line buses. Pay your RIPTA fare with Wave or $2 cash. For details, visit RIPTA.com.
At LL Flooring, pros get more. More discounts and more perks. With pro-exclusive pricing, you get the best price every day on over 500 floors, with local favorites in stock and ready to go, as well as a full selection of tools and accessories. You also get access to our experts who are trained to help you keep your business running smoothly. And at LL Flooring, pros always get unlimited free samples, hassle-free returns, extended store hours, and more. So register today in-store or online at llflooring.com/pro and start getting all the perks of being a pro. LL Flooring.
When picking a commerce platform, you have two choices.
Oh, you piece of...
Or...
Yeah!
That's the sound of selling on Shopify, the commerce platform that supercharges your selling, online and in person. Why battle inferior platforms' weak tools?
You...
And limited integrations.
Would have helped to know this.
Join the millions of businesses growing on Shopify and ignite your selling.
Less, more.
Start your free trial today at shopify.com/Odyssey free. Shopify.com/Odyssey free.
This is the Nissan post-game show. Nissan makes cars that thrill. Experience the thrill for yourself today. Shop NissanUSA.com.
Well, the euphoria that Pablo Reyes gave us in the top of the 8th inning with a game-tying 2-run home run ends up being short-lived as the Nats score 4 in the bottom of the 8th inning thanks to 2 home runs. Keibert Ruiz, a go-ahead 3-run home run off Garrett Whitlock, put the Nationals ahead 5-2. They tack on another on a solo shot by Stone Garrett, his second of the game, as the Red Sox fall by a score of 6-2 against the Washington Nationals in the nation's capital. Joe Weil with you here in the WEEI studios, and you're listening to the Nissan postgame show. Save on the action-packed Nissan lineup today at the Nissan Thrill of the Drive sales event. So with the loss, the Red Sox fall to 63-57. So they've played 120 games now in the year. 63-57 is where they sit at. And they're 3.5 games back of the Blue Jays for the third wild card spot. But the Blue Jays are losing against the Philadelphia Phillies. We'll get you that score in a moment. The Blue Jays holding that third wild card spot. Jose Ferrer, the winner, he improves to 2-0. Garrett Whitlock falls to 5-4 after giving up 4 runs in an inning of work. The Red Sox 2 runs on 4 hits in this game. Mackenzie Gore was great for the Nationals before he left due to injury, and then the Red Sox did not commit an error. The Nationals 6 runs, 9 hits, no errors. The Red Sox leave 3 men on base. The Nats leave 5 on base. The Arbella Insurance Foundation is dedicated to striking out cancer by supporting the Jimmy Fund. Tonight, Red Sox pitchers had 4 strikeouts, and that means another $200 to the Jimmy Fund to help strike out cancer. Arbella here for the Jimmy Fund, here for good. And James Paxton was pretty good on the mound for the Sox tonight. He went 6 innings, allowed 5 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, and he tossed 92 pitches, 62 of which for strikes. John Schreiber tossed a scoreless 7th, but Garrett Whitlock, in his second appearance back from the injured list, he ends up getting hung up with the loss as the Nats really hit him pretty hard in the 1 inning of work that he pitched in. As I mentioned, 2 home runs given up to the Nationals. On top of that, they had several hard hit balls against Garrett Whitlock in this outing. They end up accumulating 4 hard hit balls in that bottom of the 8th inning as they took the lead and then go on to win it by a score of 6-2. Doubles for diabetes. The Red Sox did not have any doubles today, so no dollars to the American Diabetes Association today, which is brought to you in part by the Massachusetts Health Connector, the place to go if you need health insurance. Go to mahealthconnector.org to stay in the game and get covered. We'll donate $50 for every double by the Red Sox. Our tally is up to $5,400. The Red Sox, of course, one of the best teams in terms of hitting doubles this year, but they come up empty with 2 baggers tonight. Now through Thursday at Shaw's and Star Market, get 2-liter bottles of Coca-Cola or Pepsi or 28-ounce Gatorade for 97 cents when you use the digital coupon Limit 6. Save on Coke, Pepsi, and Gatorade today at Shaw's and Star Market. Red Sox fall 6-2 against the Washington Nationals in the middle match of a 3-game set. I'm Joe Weil. You're listening to the Nissan postgame show. Save on the action-packed Nissan lineup today at the Nissan Thrill of the Drive sales event.
Looking for a deal on your next vehicle? Then you have to visit Flood Ford. Our team is committed to going above and beyond to make the car buying process easy and stress-free. Stop in and shop a variety of F-150 models, all with transparent pricing, no markups, no games. What you see is what you pay. And every vehicle is backed by our Flood Advantage plan. You get free dent repair, free windshield repair, free key replacement, and so much more. In the market to upgrade, we'll give you top dollar for your trade-in. We buy all makes and models. And when you need to service your vehicle, we have you covered with convenient pickup and delivery, a courtesy shuttle, and certified technicians you can trust. Whether you're a lifelong Ford driver or looking to make the switch, there's never been a better time or place to get behind the wheel of a new Ford than right now at Flood Ford. Make the drive for a better buying experience today. Visit us in East Greenwich or Narragansett, or shop online anytime at floodauto.com.
When you drive the most dependable mass market brand, you can stop thinking about what you can't do and start doing what you never thought possible. Visit your local Kia dealer today to see yourself behind the wheel of the #1 most dependable mass market brand 3 years in a row by J.D. Power. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-334-KIA for details. Always drive safely. Kia received the fewest reported problems among mass market brands in the J.D. Power 2021 to 2023 U.S. Vehicle Dependability Studies. 2023 study based on 2020 models. See jdpower.com/awards for 2023 details.
You're listening to the Sox on the Shaw's and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network. Now back to the play-by-play action.
Red Sox fall 6-2 against the Washington Nationals. Joe Wild with you here in the WEEI studios. Bridget Prue manning the ones and twos behind the glass with the music selection there. Red Sox fall to 63-57 with the loss tonight. So 3.5 back of the Toronto Blue Jays. Good chance, though, that they could be 3 games back of the Blue Jays by the end of the night. You're listening to the Nissan postgame show. Save on the action-packed Nissan lineup today at the Nissan Thrill to Drive sales event. The Red Sox fall because of a 4-run bottom of the 8th inning. The Nats hit 2 home runs in that frame against Garrett Whitlock, who falls to 5-4 now on the season. This was Whitlock's second appearance since coming off the injured list with the elbow injury, and he gives up 2 home runs as the Washington Nationals take it. They're now 54-67. It's time now for the Subaru of New England scoreboard. Don't miss out on a Subaru summer. Make the most of the summer in a brand new 2023 Subaru. Details at SubaruofNewEngland.com. And I keep mentioning the Blue Jays score. They're at home against the Philadelphia Phillies. Blue Jays jumped out to an early lead, but now the Phillies have scored 7 unanswered runs. They lead 9-4. It's in the top of the 9th inning in Toronto. So if the Phillies hang on, the Red Sox will be 3 games back of the Blue Jays for that 3rd wild card spot with 42 games remaining on the year. Other scores around the American League East, the Yankees lose again. They're now below 500. Braves beat them 2-0 at home. Eddie Rosario, he hits a 2-run home run in the 2nd inning. The Yankees shut out again. Their woes continue. They've lost 5 consecutive games. And again, they're 60-61 now on the year. And then Tampa Bay was a winner against St. Louis as they take it 6-1. Aaron Savali, Northeastern product, 6 shutout innings. He allowed 5 hits while striking out 5. Meanwhile, Baltimore is in action against the San Diego Padres, and it is the Padres who have the lead in this one against the Baltimore Orioles, 3-1, top of the 5th inning. The Padres just scored 3 runs in the bottom of the 3rd out in San Diego. Other scores around Major League Baseball, Seattle on top 4-3 over the Royals in the bottom of the 6th inning, but Kansas City's threatening. They have runners at the corners with nobody out, and we're watching that game because Seattle's just 1 game ahead of the Red Sox in the wild card standings. They entered 2 games back of the Blue Jays coming into the night as well. So they have the lead right now, up by 1, bottom of the 6th, but Kansas City is threatening. The White Sox have a 3-0 advantage over the Cubs at Wrigley Field. That's in the top of the 8th inning. The Rangers right now are being no-hit by the Angels. It's in the top of the 8th inning in Texas. Reed Detmers, 7 shutout innings, no hits, 4 walks, 5 strikeouts. He has tossed 104 pitches, though, in that game. We'll see if he ends up continuing in that contest. So let's look at the games in progress. And then coming up at 10:10, Dodgers are at home against the Milwaukee Brewers. A look at some other finals. Oakland, an 8-0 winner over St. Louis. Detroit beats Minnesota 8-7. The Mets, 8-3 winners over the Pittsburgh Pirates. A 9-7 victory for Arizona over Colorado. Also being added to it. And then this game actually just went final. The Reds beat the Guardians by a score of 7-2. Matt McLean, one of the star young players that the Reds had, he had his 13th home run of the season in that game. Tonight's Mike's Amazing Player of the Game, we have to give it to Pablo Reyes, and the Mike's Amazing Player of the Game is brought to you by Mike's Amazing, the official mayonnaise of the Boston Red Sox, and Reyes hitting a dramatic 2-run home run in the top of the 8th inning to tie up the game. And Reyes, he's been great for the Red Sox, especially since being activated off the injured list with an abdominal strain. He's now 14 for his last 40 at the plate, and he's hitting above 300 with the Red Sox. And this was the guy the Red Sox traded for when he was in the AAA affiliate of the Oakland A's. The Red Sox got him for cash considerations. So by the A's estimation, he wasn't good enough for their team, and they're the worst team in Major League Baseball. He's been a huge contributor to the Red Sox, and he had a big home run tonight. Unfortunately, it's all for naught as the Red Sox lose by a score of 6-2 against the Washington Nationals. Don't forget to tune in to the Mass Mutual Red Sox pregame show tomorrow at 3:05, so it's an early start time. First pitch coming up at 4:05. Talk to Mass Mutual today. Feel comfortable about tomorrow. Chris Sale on the bump for the Red Sox, and it's a big outing for the Sox, looking for the series win over the Nats. Patrick Corbin going on the other side. He's had a really rough year for the Nationals, but that game gets going at 4:05. Again, the Mass Mutual Red Sox pregame show at 3:05 as Will and Rob will be on the call once again. The final time from Nationals Park. It is Nationals 6, Red Sox 2. You've been listening to the Nissan postgame show. Save on the action-packed Nissan lineup today at the Nissan Thrill of the Drive sales event. Want to thank Bridget Prue. Awesome work behind the glass. Hair's looking immaculate, as was Joe Braverman before when he was in the studios as well. So great work by the producers tonight. I'm Joe Weil. Thanks for listening to the Nissan postgame show. If you're listening on the network, it's time to say so long. But if you're listening locally on WE, up next.
Nissan makes cars that thrill. Experience the thrill for yourself today. Shop NissanUSA.com. You have been listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Shaws and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network. The Red Sox on WEEI are brought to you by Shaws and Star Market, perfecting the art of fresh. Catches Law Group, New England's injury law pros at catcheslaw.com.
And it's gone!
Subaru of New England. Find your authorized Subaru retailer at SubaruofNewEngland.com. Mass Mutual. Insurance, planning, investments. Sponsored by Nissan. Save on the action-packed Nissan lineup today at the Nissan Thrill of the Drive sales event. Drains by James. Eastern Mass's choice for drain cleaning and pipelining.
And that ball is gone into the front row of the monster seats.
Big Y World-Class Market. It's more than food. It's my Big Y. Buy cars for kids. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
Looking up! Grand slam!
By Mike's Amazing, the official mayonnaise of the Boston Red Sox. Ford Trucks, official truck of the Boston Red Sox.
We're going to drive to left field. There are a couple runs. Way gone!
Arbella, here for good. And by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Long gone into the monster seats.
Sponsored by Town Fair Tire. For the best prices on tires, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Dig Safe. Click digsafe.com or call 811 before you dig. Cape Cod Lumber. Find the lumber for your next project. cclco.com.
Holy cow!
Sponsored by Sherwin-Williams. Savings and support start day one. Unlock the Pro Advantage at swproplus.com today. Sponsored by Herb Chambers. At Herb Chambers, we don't sell cars. We help people buy them.
This has been a presentation of Odyssey Sports. For even more coverage of your team, download the free Odyssey app and listen to your favorite stations, shows, and podcasts.
This is Red Sox Review, and it starts right now. Here's your host, Joe Weil.
1. Masataka grounds it to the right side. Should be the end of this game. Smith flips to Finnegan, touches the first base bag, and the game is over. Well, the Red Sox got an absolute heroic blast from Pablo Reyes, but it was immediately erased in the bottom of the 8th inning. Nationals beat the Red Sox 6-2. And they leveled this 3-game series at a game apiece. Sale takes the ball tomorrow in an enormous spot for the Red Sox.
And that's without a doubt a big spot for Chris Sale tomorrow, with the Red Sox losing this middle match by a score of 6-2 against the Washington Nationals. The Red Sox fall to 63-57, and we got such a big lift from Pablo Reyes in the top of the 8th inning. Unfortunately, the 2-run shot all for naught, as the Nats got 4 back in the bottom of the 8th inning. K-Bear Ruiz, 3-run home run off Garrett Whitlock. Stone Garrett follows it up with a solo shot, and Whitlock gets roughed up in an inning of work. His second appearance since coming off the injured list. He allows 4 runs on 3 hits in an inning of work, 4 hard hit balls against him, as the Red Sox fall 6-2 against the Nationals in the nation's capital. Joe Wild with you here on Red Sox Review. If you want to call in, 617-779-7937. Again, 617-779-7937. You can also text us at 37937. We're going to dissect the loss. We're also going to hear from Alex Cora after this loss. Very curious to hear his thoughts on Garrett Whitlock and how he felt he looked tonight. We'll get into it more in a moment, but for Whitlock's second appearance in the bullpen, he obviously starts the year as a starter. He's dealt with a couple different injuries this season. The Red Sox deciding for this final stretch that they wanted him as a multi-inning reliever at best. They for sure put him in the bullpen. He's going to be there the rest of the year, but it does not work out tonight for Garrett Whitlock, a guy so important to this Red Sox team over the last 2 years. But this year it's been a tough go. He's got an ERA +5, and after tonight's appearance, he's now at 5.60 between starting and relieving. And then again, 2 home runs given up tonight against the Nationals. And the 4 guys for the Nats who made contact off of him to start off his outing, all hard hit balls against him. The velo is down as well from his previous start. We look at his season averages, no problems there. But when you look at what he looked like on Sunday when he made his first appearance, the velocity was pretty high. And maybe there was more juice. It's his first appearance back coming off the IL. But he was touching 96 miles per hour. He was actually sitting there with his sinker. But in this outing, a little bit different for Garrett Whitlock, and that's something to watch out for moving forward as he continues to get some play in the bullpen for the rest of 2023. But every game is so important for the Red Sox, where they are in the wild card standings. They entered today 3 games back of the Blue Jays. As of this current moment, they're still 3.5 games back, but the Blue Jays are taking on the Phillies, and actually that game just went final. So the Red Sox remain 3 games back. Phillies beat the Blue Jays by a score of 9-4. So this is it. The Red Sox 3 games back of the 3rd wild card spot in the American League with 42 games to go. It's the home stretch. The competition upcoming here for the Red Sox doesn't get easier. They have the Yankees up next. They're now below 500 team. They lost tonight. But you have to win these types of games, and now it's imperative for the Red Sox to win this series by getting the game tomorrow. Chris Sale is going to get the start for the Red Sox. They're facing a starter in Patrick Corbin, whose best days seem to be behind him. He has been really bad for the Washington Nationals. So that is a game the Red Sox have to, win, rebound from tonight, and put up some big numbers against Corbin, a guy that has an ERA that's hovering near 5 on the season. They need Chris Sale. They need the offense to get alive or wake up a little bit in that game tomorrow. Tonight, they were silenced by Mackenzie Gore, who, if you didn't know about him, he was a big part of that Juan Soto trade. One of the guys that the Nationals got back from the San Diego Padres, a former 3rd overall pick, and he showed why tonight. He left the game in the 7th inning. It seemed like an apparent injury, but he was great. 6 1/3 innings and allowed just 1 hit and 2 walks while striking out 7 Red Sox batters. He's a young phenom. Looked like coming into tonight, I was previewing it in the pregame, talking about how as the season has progressed, his numbers have dipped. He had a 5.67 ERA over his last 12 starts after posting an ERA roughly at 3.5 through the first 2 months. And yet he looked great. He looked like a guy that you could point to and say, this is going to be one of the best starting pitchers in the league in the near future. He was that good against the Red Sox. And no Jarren Duran in the lineup. Masataka Yoshida came in later in the game as a pinch hitter, but you wanted to throw out some right-handed hitters like Rob Refsnyder up against the left-hander and Mackenzie Gore. And the 24-year-old, he dazzled against the Red Sox. And then in the 8th inning, Red Sox were down 2-0 at this point, and James Paxton kept the Red Sox in the game. He went 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs. And then in the 8th inning, the Red Sox just received this huge jolt. And there were a lot of fans at Nationals Park that were Red Sox fans, so you could hear it, from the fans when this happened. And Pablo Reyes has been a guy that's injected a lot of life into the Red Sox over the last week plus. It really all started with the grand slam he hits against the Royals 2 Mondays ago at Fenway Park, hits off the foul pole. Red Sox win it on the walk-off grand slam. And what he did also in the process, he helped the Red Sox win. And then on top of that, he solidified a roster spot with Yu Chang, who ends up getting designated for assignment. And before that, it was Christian Arroyo. So the Red Sox deciding middle infield depth, we're going to go with Pablo Reyes. He has rewarded them. 14 for 40 now since coming off the IL, and he hits a big home run tonight that tied the game at 2. Will had a great call on it. We'll play it little later on in our post-game coverage here on Red Sox Review. But it was a sign of life from the Red Sox, and it was one you thought, okay, maybe they're going to come back and win this game. And we know the Nationals are not world beaters. So if you tie the game at 2, you have some momentum. The bullpen has been as good as it's been for the Red Sox. You think, okay, maybe they can just keep it a 2-2 game and then let the Red Sox offense go back to work. And then things sort of just sped up, right? The end of the inning, it came pretty quickly for the Red Sox in the top of the 8th inning after the 2-run home run by Pablo Reyes. And then Garrett Whitlock comes in that bottom of the 8th inning, and the Nats offense just is squaring him up, right? So he gives up a single to Lane Thomas, and that gets the inning going for the Nationals. So Lane Thomas hits a single at 101.8 miles per hour. So they have runner on first, nobody out. And then Joey Meneses, he was down in the count. This is a good hitter that the Nationals have in their lineup. It's not known for being a strong offensive team, but Joey Meneses, good hitter, up with a runner at first and nobody out. He's down in the count 0-2, and then Garrett Whitlock hits him. So he plunks some runners at first and second and nobody out. And then Keibert Ruiz steps to the plate, the catcher for the Nats, and then he hits a bomb, right? He hits it, ends up going 398 feet, 99.3 miles per hour off the bat. So that makes it 5-2. And then just like that, the good feeling you had from the Pablo Reyes home run just dissipates. And all of a sudden you're down by 3. Kyle Finnegan, who pitched and closed out the game for the Nats, he's been brilliant at the back end. So you give him a 3-run lead, that's not going to pretend good things for the Red Sox if in that top of the 9th inning. Not to say it couldn't happen, but you're down by 3 at that point in a must-win game. That's not the spot you want to be in. And then the Nats, just like that, added on another one as Stone Garrett hit his second home run of the night that capped off the scoring of the night. And again, another bomb off of Garrett Whitlock. This one, 108.2 miles per hour, and then it traveled 442 feet. That home run for Ruiz out in 18 of 30 ballparks. This one, a no-doubter, out in 30 of 30, going 442 off the bat to center. And for Whitlock, it was on a 2-0 sinker that Garrett was just able to square up and drill out to center field, and that was pretty much the ball game. And it's, again, the Red Sox fall 6-2 against the Washington Nationals. If you want to chime in, 617-779-7937. With the Red Sox losing tonight, 3 games back of the 3rd wild card spot with 42 games left to play. Let us know how you're feeling. Do you think the Red Sox can bounce back tomorrow with Chris Sale on the mound? Do you trust Chris Sale in a must-win game at this moment? Feel free to let us know. And again, you can text us also at 37937. The texts are starting to roll in a little bit. One texter asking who will be called up in September for the Red Sox, and that's a very interesting conversation. I think part of it will have to do with what needs the Red Sox have. You have some prospects in AAA that are dazzling. Cedon Rafaela's a name that comes to mind, right off the top. Wilyer Abreu, who just hit his 8th home run in the month of August as well. And actually, we want to just touch on the Woo Sox for just a little moment right now. Tanner Houck did pitch well in his rehab appearance with the Woo Sox. Got the start, 4 shutout innings, and he will be back with the Red Sox on Monday. And they'll need him, right? Because if you want the team to be healthy in any moment this year, you need it right now. With 42 games left, you're in the home stretch, 3 games back in the third wild card spot. You need the arms, everybody, all hands on deck, everybody healthy on the team to get things rolling for the Red Sox in this moment, and then to get Tanner Houck back. And not to say that he's been the most consistent starter for the Red Sox. That's not been the case, but he is a guy that you want to depend upon and a guy the Red Sox view as a future arm for them, whether it's starter or being a starter or a reliever. But they'll have him back for the Houston series. But these next 2 series, and especially with the Yankees, the way they're tumbling too, right? They're coming up after the Nationals. You have to win these 2 series. You just have to, because as I've talked about, several times, they will be playing a lot of good teams down the stretch. And there's no way you can just let up, because you got the Nats, Houston for 4 in Houston, and then you're playing 3 against the Dodgers at home. They've been the hottest team in Major League Baseball. They have won 9 consecutive games. They're going to be at it again tonight against the Milwaukee Brewers. And then you play Houston again. And Houston's starting to look like a team that you can really, truly be afraid of, as they have been in past years. Of course, the reigning World Series champs, but they get Justin Verlander back, and they're looking like a scary team once again. And then after that, you get a little bit of a let-up with Kansas City, but then Tampa Bay, Baltimore, Yankees again. But Tampa Bay and Baltimore are the 2 teams you want to worry about. Regardless, you have to win in this series. You have to win tomorrow, because if you don't win tomorrow, you're wasting another chance, right? Another chance to get back into it. I mentioned this in our pregame coverage. The playoff odds the Red Sox have per Fangraphs at 16.3 coming into the night, which, you might think that that's too low or too high. I would hear out arguments on either side. I wouldn't say 50%. If you're going to say that, then just don't call in. But if you're thinking maybe it's 20%, 10%, I'm not going to argue with that at all. But at 16.3%, you're saying, okay, listen, that's a 1 in 6 chance of being able to grab a wild card spot. And I think where you look at the Red Sox are at, the Blue Jays are playing some solid ball. They lost tonight, though. The Red Sox, they on their own end have to be consistent. And you think about 42 games, what do you think that the record needs to be? I mean, it might need to be in that 28-14 type of stretch to get yourself a spot. Because if you do that, then you end up getting, if you get to 28-14, that gets you to 91 wins. I think you'd get a wild card spot at that point. So maybe that's even being a little too extreme. Say you go 26-16, then you get to 89 wins. I think that might get you a wild card spot too. But they need to play consistent, above average baseball. And the problem with the Red Sox is just when it looks like they're going to put together a stretch in which they're consistent, it doesn't quite happen, because then they have a lull. And against teams below 500, you just can't let up. Sure, 1 loss, okay, you can watch this one away, but that means you have to get tomorrow. And that's a must-win game, another one on the schedule if you want to